Right, restarting that, going back live again. I completely forgot that I had 3 separate links, and it was because I was absolutely overwhelmed with the donations that we have. Enough about that. We know that the amazing director, deviser, writer, performer, Franny-Anne Rafferty is here, talking about her earlier with Grace Taylor. Cannot wait. I'm going to shut up. Let's talk to Franny now. She's here. Hello.
Here I am.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
All right, thank you. I'm so sorry. I just went, oh, goodness, actually, what's happening? And I went, hang on, I'm meant to have gone on the next link now. But there we have it. How's everything going down your end at the moment?
Oh, it's delightful. As only COVID-19 can be, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Just quickly jumping into the thick of it then. And don't worry, we'll still have the same 15 minutes. At least, or maybe a bit more. Let's do it. Even a bit
15 minutes of thick of it. Come on, we can do it.
Yeah, come on, let's do it. But talking to Grace earlier, the other half, as it were, of Six with you, and talking about Six, I was just wondering from your end, how have you been finding like working with the Six team, being a core part of the team as well, and really like working with all the queens?
Oh, it's amazing. It's an amazing show to be a part of. We sadly, COVID-19 has put the kibosh on any regal action for the past 3 months, but no, prior to that, it's a phenomenal show to be a part of. Yeah.
And like this, the shows that you have worked on, you have worked on some pretty beasts. Let's just put it that way. You know, like the Rink, Titanic, just to name a few. But for you, when you are working with the big shows, does your process change, or do you have a certain formula that you stick to just to really find that manner of success?
So I much prefer shows that have got a disaster involved. So if it's a large sinking ship, ideal. If it can be if it can be a whole ensemble of men tap dancing on roller skates, bang in. No, I suppose no.
Sorry, is it about the spectacle then? Is that what draws you to it? And you're like, oh, this is a challenge on paper. Come on.
I think it's more the story for me, more often than not. But it's about when I think as an associate, you're always looking for how you can best support your team. So you're there as a proxy for the director in the room. So always trying to channel what they're wanting from the room, but then also wanting to bring your best self into the room, because you can often end up being a go-between, not just for the directors, but you're also a go-between for the production team, for the producers, for the company management. There are, I think, a number of situations, not just on the last show that I was working on, that their show with Six Queens, but on, I think, pretty much every show I've ever worked on, there's always been an element of the cast will use you as a conduit for the information, or sometimes disgruntlements, sometimes really good things that they want kind of communicating back either to the producers or to the company management. And I've been really lucky that there's been lots of lovely company management on the shows that I work on. But you're there in a sort of jack of all trades, master of none, when you're associating. So yeah, it becomes you sort of have your own processes as an associate, I think, and then you kind of adapt that depending on which show you're going into.
Yeah, and when going into a show, having your own imprint. Like earlier I was talking about, like, you know, bringing the personalities of the performers into the queens. But for you, how do you bring your personality and put it into the shows that you do?
Well, I don't have a personality, so that's kind of lucky. There's no there's no struggle there. I'm pretty beige as far as it goes. I'm not. I am a bit. But no, I suppose you're lucky with a show like Six, because the whole point of each of the queens is that they are based upon who that person is. It's kind of that person wearing a crown. So it's your job, again, being the conduit of the director, is to draw out what the director kind of wants within that queen, if that sort of makes sense. Yeah, so it's so I know that Jamie and Lucy really appreciate people as individuals. So if I was to walk into the room and start going, well, this is how that person played the role last time, so that's how you're going to play it, that's not what Lucy and Jamie want. So I'm not doing what the director wants. So it's about, kind of understanding what they want from their cast, what they want from their show, and then hopefully doing your best to draw that out.
And what do you want from the people that you work with? What do you want from people?
I want them to be nice. I just want them to be nice.
I don't want to cry. No. Like with the designs, obviously you were talking about the shows that you have done, are doing. Like looking into the future wise, do you have your eyes on certain prizes that you want to tackle, or is it kind of just playing it by ear, as it were, and seeing what falls on your lap?
Well, it would be delightful if theatre came back, which I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
But the more you sort of hear the silliness, yeah, exactly. But the more you sort of hear the silliness of, do people have to sing when they're in a musical? Can we just do musicals without singing? You sort of go, oh, okay. There's people saying that who really just don't understand or value the art form. But to get off my political soapbox, or step away from where might be my political soapbox, my prizes would be Jagged Little Pill is a massive prize for me. Hadestown, Great Comet, if that ever came. Oh, blooming heck, to work on Great Comet, that would be that would be amazing. Well, that's the thing, that's the dream. But I think at the moment for all of us, we're reevaluating our positions. We're being forced to reevaluate our positions, and there's a constant sort of battle at the moment for everybody to a degree of understanding their own values within the industry, despite the fact that it feels like we have a government consistently turning around saying it is without value.
And like reevaluating, looking at the sense of community that you do have, and it must be lovely and amazing to finally, to have those people around you. Like you're talking about, you want to work with the nice people, delving into the sense of collaborators. Apart from being like getting along with them, with especially with the upcoming talent, with a lot of people that tune into this. What qualities do you want to see if they don't have that much in that resume? What qualities do you want to see in those people?
Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head with the word collaborator. You're always looking for a collaborator, and I think my particular fondness in a rehearsal room is to ensure that the process is quite actor-led. Is that what I don't want to be doing is prescribing, but what I would like to do is collaborate with somebody in terms of us finding the way. And that's not to say, I think sometimes actors can feel like, and there are some directors that do this, that just sort of don't know where they're heading with it. And so they're a bit like, throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. And I think that can be quite frustrating for actors, and understandably frustrating. So I try not to go in the spaghetti area in terms of process, but I do try to allow for, or I hope I do anyway, allow for actors to bring as much as they can into the room in terms of their own choices, and then we play with them. Like the whole spirit, there was a company that I worked for years and years ago called The Factory, who were a guerrilla, what do they call themselves? A guerrilla site-sensitive performance group. And what they used to do, the director called Tim Carroll, incredibly intelligent man, led them and sort of developed this process with them that was so much about playing the game. And the idea of winning within that game was not necessarily about an individual prize, but was about a collective prize. And so things like one of their most famous productions was a production of Hamlet, which they did, where several members of the and when I say ensemble, I don't mean like dancers in the background, I mean ensemble company, would learn the same role. And then at the beginning of each performance, the audience would pick who they want to play each role. And so what they had, instead of like blocking or rigid kind of, this is a prop you pick up at that point or things like that. They had certain actions that they had to play. And so it became like you have milestones that you reach within the text, but the milestones are sort of open to the choice of the actor in the way that you would be in different places all the time. They might be in a field with a Latitude Festival, or they might be at the Arches in East London, somewhere like that. And they won't always have like a crown to hand or a sword to hand. So they have to, in that moment, although they know the action is to pick up a sword, for example, in a moment, they have to figure out the way that they represent that moment, or they find their way to meet that action in order that then the game can continue. And so it becomes a collective thing towards the end of the play. Completing the play is winning the game collectively, rather than like one person being the standout performer. So playing the game becomes about the whole rather than the individual.
Yeah, like just very quickly, because I know we're starting to run out of time. But playing the game, for those that are that want to be the the new budding directors, the upcoming talent, especially right now during this lockdown, this weird period, unique times. What can people maybe do to, like, if you were in this situation and you were like at the beginning again, what would you really be doing to try and help your chances and get that rep up, so when we do come back to a sense of normality, they can really have a fighting chance? Because there's going to be the competition's going to be even harder. It's going to be harder than ever.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm still at the beginning. Help me. Bailey, don't get other people to come after my job. Jeez. Everybody just stay home. That's the best way of doing it. Just stay home. No, it's I think there's a lot of reading that you can be doing. I love reading so the Director's Craft, the Handbook by Katie Mitchell, is something I return to a lot. I also really enjoy reading other artists' anecdotes. So like I'm reading at the moment, it's called Smashing It, which is a collection of personal experiences and stories and anecdotes from working class artists. And I think as much as you can gather an empathy for what other artists are bringing into the industry will make you a better artist. Because if you walk into any rehearsal room, any studio, any place of creativity and think that only your view, your process, your ability to create is the only way in that room, then you're not Trevor Nunn, you're not the double denim. Adorable man, I'm sure, but there's a sense that he will walk into a room perhaps and it'll be like, well, it's his way because he's earned that status now. But I think generationally we've moved forward in theatre, that there isn't the room for that one way is the only way version of things. So I think it's really important, particularly if you're wanting to be an assistant or an associate, which is a skill in itself. It's not just about apprenticeship. It's a finely honed skill and really important skill and a really valuable job, which I think is undervalued a huge amount. So I think being in that role, especially, you have to be really skilled as an empath, as a compassionate person, and as somebody with a wide world view of the different people who will be coming into the rehearsal room with you, collaborating with you, working with you, and who you are there to support.
Well, Franny, I was just thinking, just because it's so annoying because we've run out of time, but I really hope that we can be able to do a podcast or something. I'm a talker anyway. 14 hours is not long enough, anyways.
I haven't even asked how you're doing, Bailey. We haven't even checked in on you.
No, seriously, no. If we ask how I'm doing, I'm probably going to end up breaking down, and then it will go to pieces. No. No, seriously, it's going really, really well. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully, see you soon. You've been an absolute delight. Absolutely love you. And you don't have a baby personality. Look, you're yellow at the moment. Come on, you're glowing. Come on. Franny, thank you so much.
Director person, right here.
Love it, love it, love it. Right, I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Bailey.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woo! Okay, that was everyone. Franny and Rafferty, Associate Director of Six, the musical. Oh my God, delight, delight, delight. Well, from one amazing fashion sense to another, I'm going to keep on going on about it. I don't care. I can see it backstage. Jordan Lee Davies is back. Oh my God, I love it. I love this man. He knows how this gig is played. Oh my goodness, if I'm not talking about his amazing talent, yes, I talk about his fashion sense. I can see it. It's electrifying right now. Let's see what's coming our way. It is Jordan Lee Davies. Hello, how are we?
Hello, Madine. How you doing?
I am doing all right. How's it going?
Thank you so much for the fabulous sell-up. You know, just here in my a light shirt. I've just been painting the garden shed. So below I have little shorts on, but we're just not going to look there. We're just going to look here.
I'm the same. I was going to wear a shirt, but then I just decided, no, not today. But it's the shorts and the flip flops right now.
Absolutely, and I'm completely covered in paint. I've got paint everywhere. It's in my hair, but you know, whatever. It's okay. I'm painting the shed and keeping it casual. How are you doing? Are you well?
Yeah, no, I'm doing all right. It's great. It's great to see you again. I must say, great to see you
and
again.
You? How's it been going today? Are you having the time of your life? Are we on hour 73? Where are we?
It's going all right. It's happening. I got a little bit emotional at one stage. I'm going to quickly check again of where we are with donations. We completely surpassed. I only wanted like 250 quid. We're on nearly 750 for the Dash charity. I'm really, really happy with that. Just because everything came. It was just very short notice with this event anyway. But I just had a flavour of the Tickets to Lounge. Obviously, you're kind of part of the DNA anyway. Always having you back. Absolutely love it. Actually, whilst we're on that, is okay. I don't know. I don't know if I asked for a song, but could we maybe have a song?
Well, I mean, I prepared something.
Yeah, absolutely. See, my mind's everywhere. I'm like, oh God, no, please! I really want Jordan to sing, but I don't think I should.
No, not at all. I've actually prepared a song from a show. Prepared a song. I'm going to sing a song which I did a musical at the Other Palace last year. Year before, 2 years ago, called Amdram, the musical, which is based on an amateur dramatic society. And I played Ian, the closeted musical director of the company. So he's a proper closet homo. And this was his song, which was in Act 2. Sorry, I'm looking out the window because my neighbours are watching. So God knows what they're gonna see now. So this is the song from Act 2, where my character Ian, the musical director, basically the leading lady in the musical at the moment, at this current moment, is having a bit of a hard time with taking over the part that she's playing in the Amdram musical, and he gives her a little bit of encouragement. And this is a song. It's called Flawless.
Amazing. Well, take it away whenever you're ready. All right, Jordan.
Oh, by the way, this musical is by Alex Parker and Katie Lamb, and it's absolutely sensational, and everybody should have a listen to it because it's wonderful. And yes, I was literally so lucky to be part of it, and it's a wonderful new piece of musical theatre. Have a listen to it all. It's out there. But anyway, here we go. All alone, a single spotlight shines, and on their own, she somehow pauses time. It's silent as a death before she takes a breath, and she's flawless, so effortless. Her words pour out like gold, her tenderness, a wonder to behold, the skill in every choice, the radiance of her voice. She is flawless. No one could match her beauty or style. She's a vision. You couldn't catch the wildness of her smile. This woman can't be tamed, you know, her magic can't be claimed. So let her be. Bask within her glow, and what you see is all you need to know. The goddess on your stage, an icon of your age. You are flawless. A dance break. Every night you build the world anew, your perfection. Fiery and bright, yet enigmatic too. She moves as brightly as the breeze. She gives us all she has. She's always there. If I just close my eyes, her grace and flair, the music in her sighs, and still through all these years, she brings me close to tears. She is flawless. And still through all these years, she brings me close to tears. She is flawless.
Woof! Okay, Jordan's not messing again. Okay, Jordan.
Oh, gosh, I'm singing in alcove. It was very loud in my own ears then. Woo! Very loud, very loud.
Your neighbours still there? Got a little audience as well in the flesh?
Yes, no, the neighbours drove off, livid. But they pulled out of the drive, and I watched them pull out, and they were very much like, they've done it a few times when I've been having a belt in the lounge. They're like, as the car goes past. So yeah, but we're fine, we're here.
People on the server were doing, this face, and all of that face, all those faces going, all those. I can't do emojis with my proper.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Saying that. Yeah, thank you.
It's the most beautiful. Alex Parker and Katie Lamb are this wonderful new writing team. Alex does the music and Katie writes the book and lyrics, and they are honestly some of their music. They've got a wonderful new musical which they're working on at the moment, which I don't know whether you would have seen a couple of months ago. They released a wonderful performer called El Morgan Lee. Released a new song for them, which is for them their adaptation of The Danish Girl, which they're writing the musical of, and they're currently workshopping that and working on that. And this is wonderful new project which they're both doing. So keep a lookout for that, because it's honestly the music. Seriously, they're a match made in heaven, and it's wonderful to support new musical theatre. Because we've all. Having done Les Mis, we've all heard Les Mis. It's nice to hear something else. So yeah, but you just had someone walk past your screen.
Yeah, I saw my mum. Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Right. There we go. Jordan, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. You always, it takes, always. There you go. I'm lost for words.
Don't worry. Not at all. Rough at the minute, but it's lovely to sing. So thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll catch you soon. All right. Look after yourself.
See you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Oh my goodness, Jordan Lee Davies, absolute treat. He is. Right. Okay. It is now time to unwind and recharge. As yes, we've. I don't even know how many hours we've got left. We've got a lot of hours. We're at 7:30. We're going to 11, and then we've got a bonus hour. So really, we've got till midnight. But oh my goodness, we're in for a treat now. Holistic practitioner Meriel Rosenkranz is here to help us with just that, of just unwinding, just trying to I need it. I don't know if you guys need it right now, but I definitely need it. I need to really just completely just try and regain some sanity. Meriel joins us right now, and I think we're going to hit a light meditation before we grab a chat. Hello.
Hi, Bailey. I'm surprised you can still string sentences together.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I can never really not string sentences together, so I don't think that will ever change. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I was inspired by Jordan, so I went and changed really quickly. I got my most flamboyant top out.
I love it. I absolutely yes. Oh my yeah, because I saw in the back.
It's a jumpsuit.
Changed. Wow, amazing. Well, actually, yeah, we'll go to the meditation just a second. But how are you doing at the moment?
I'm all right. I was working down in Richmond by the river. I'm hiring out paddleboards, kayaks, and canoes with Back Up Beyond Adventures. And I cycled back, and I cycled like the wind. It was like 24K, and I made it here on time. So, and then I had a quick time to get changed quickly.
Good on us to show me just sitting in the chair, putting on the pounds by the dozen, and then you're just going up. No, it's great to see you. Before we continue the conversation, is it all right if we have a light meditation?
Let's do it. Okay, so just good evening, everybody. Find yourself in a comfortable position. If you can sit cross-legged without getting pins and needles, great. If not, just sit with your spine straight, your feet on the ground. Just keep your eyes open for a second and just sort of soften your gaze and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Soften your jaw. And on the next exhalation, gently close your eyes. Taking one more deep breath in through the nose and out through your mouth. And then just allowing your breath to fall back into its own natural rhythm again. Settling into the darkness of having your eyes closed. Feeling the weight of your hands in your lap and your feet connected to the ground. Now that your eyes are closed, just gently tuning into your other senses, becoming aware of your contact points, the surface that you're sitting on, the clothes against your skin. Becoming aware of the sounds around you. People moving around in your apartment or passing by outside your window. Tuning into the sound of your own heartbeat. And also becoming aware of any smells or tastes. The last thing that you ate or drank, tingling on your palate, your tongue and your lips. Just noticing the rich tapestry of life around you without judging it, labeling it as good or as bad, just noticing it. And then letting it drift into the background where it won't distract you. Tuning in once more with your breath. Feeling the contraction and the expansion, the rise and fall. Letting your in and out breath flow like gentle waves. And with every out breath becoming just a little bit heavier. And inhabiting your body just a little bit more. Then bringing your attention to your heart space, to your chest. With every out breath, feeling a sense of widening and opening across your shoulders and your chest. Breathing into the space between your ribs. Between your shoulder blades. Just opening your whole upper body up. Opening up your heart. And with every out breath, just letting go of any tension, worry, or fear. And with every in-breath, drawing in peace, compassion, quiet, and love. Allowing yourself to take this time to recharge your batteries, fueling up on the good stuff, and letting go of anything that doesn't serve you right now. The worries, the fears, the frustrations, just let them go. Breathe them out. Send them out through your feet into the ground. And just noticing your body again. If your energy has changed, maybe you've become lighter or heavier. Slowly coming back into the present moment. You might want to wriggle your fingers or your toes. Consciously hearing my voice again and the sounds in your surroundings. And whenever you're ready, opening up your eyes again. Stretching, moving, whatever feels good. And coming back into your space. I mean, that's just a very, very short meditation. I do anything from half an hour to 60 minutes normally, but sometimes it only takes 2 minutes, 5 minutes to recharge, to refuel, and bring yourself back to your center again. And most of you out there listening are probably performers. You know how important the connection to your breath is. So even if you're just standing in line for something and you're feeling a little bit anxious or on edge, just taking a few breaths, really conscious breaths into your lungs and out, and bringing yourself sort of back to center again. I don't know where Bailey's vanished to. Maybe he's gone to the toilet.
Sorry,
Oh, there he is.
I'm kind of at peace.
I've fallen asleep.
Oh yeah, I was at peace, just unwinding, as it were. But yeah, thank you so much for that. That was brilliant.
That's
Oh goodness, let's get through this. No, but before we move on, for you, finding your own centre, when did you find that this was something that you'd love to explore and also share your gift wise with other people?
I grew up in a household where meditation was always present. So I think my first meditation tape was given to me at the age of 8.
Wow.
My parents were always experimenting and exploring all sorts of things. Now that I'm making them sound like they're absolute hippies, they're totally not. They're both management trainers. So I grew up with it. And then I went to drama school and I worked in a little sort of esoteric shop selling tarot cards, crystals, pretty jewelry, and met some incredible women who taught me and who answered a lot of questions. And then I was able to explore all of those realms, healing and philosophy and psychology and how people work on my own terms, sort of away from my parents and my family. And that's when I started learning Reiki, which is a Japanese form of energy healing, if anybody out there knows. It's basically, if massage is muscle manipulation, Reiki is energy manipulation. So I don't like press and knead and pummel. I just place my hands on certain parts of your body to sort of bring calmness and peace and healing to it. And yeah, so I sort of made it my own over the last sort of 10 years, I guess. And lost my thread now. So how did I come to it? Well, that's how I came to it. So, yeah.
Amazing. And like for those that like would perhaps like to explore your work in that particular field, where can one start with that?
So I mean, there's so many incredible meditation apps out there nowadays, and they range again from just like 5 minutes to a whole hour. Or you can find meditations on YouTube. Personally, I love Headspace. But if you fancy meditating with me, I do, at the moment, obviously, meditations via Zoom. For most of lockdown, I did half-an-hour meditations every morning. I've kind of stopped them at the moment and will be offering some longer meditations soon. But for massage and Reiki, I work out of Try Yoga in Soho when it opens up again. But watch this space. I might be opening my own studios very soon, and hopefully once the pandemic is past and everything is safe, people will be happy to come and have treatments again.
Amazing. Well, Meriel, thank you so much. It's been so lovely seeing you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Oh, and once more, I also do meditation classes on paddleboards. If anybody feels like they want to combine sports, nature and mindfulness, I do that as well.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll see you again very shortly, but please look after yourself, and it's been an absolute delight. Thank you. Have
a lovely evening. Take care.
Take care. Bye. Oh my goodness, that was Meriel from Still Point Space. Amazing. Let's quickly check where we are with the balance with the charity at the moment. It's amazing that people are donating during these times because everyone's really tight. We're still on £725. Can we get to 1,000? We surpassed our aim of 250, which is just fantastic. Link is here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for such a great cause. We're supporting victims of domestic abuse to allow families to move on in the future. So if you can, anything, even if it's 50 pence or, whatever, like you even, the people listening on the server, people coming in on this has been amazing. Reception has been great, amazing talent. And talking about talent, our next guest has just got that. We're now going to award-winning musical director and orchestra composer, playwright, Jordan Lee Smith. Lucky is an understatement. Jordan joins us now. Hello.
Hi, Bailey.
How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, no, not bad at all. Getting there, found, starting to find my ground at last with trying to recharge. Meriel did that amazingly. But let's see how long that lasts because I'm kind of losing the plot. But anyways, about me, let's talk about you. How's everything? How have you been dealing with everything at the moment? Because it's just crazy, isn't it?
It is. It was one of those strange things where I sort of, my show that I was working on closed, and then I got out of London straight away, and I'm back up north now, and I've been properly self-isolating all this time. I've hardly gone out, and I've tried to stay quite busy and creative. And it got to the point where I was like, geez, I'm busier in lockdown than I was when I was doing a show or two. It's crazy, really. But trying to keep busy and creative, but also spending lots of time with family again, because this never happens that I get to have this many months off and get to spend it with my wife and family, which is quite nice. So yeah, there are pluses, aren't there?
Exactly. Well, creative wise, obviously it is all a bit alien to us right now with this whole circumstance, trying to find our own feet. But for you, obviously award winning, but when you do make your own material, do you find it best to be under pressure, or do you find it enjoying the freedom of having the time to do it? Like what really suits you best?
Well, having the time is lovely, but I definitely work best under pressure. I am a lazy writer. As a musical director, I like to think that I'm not, but as a composer, I'm so lazy. It's unbelievable. But when I have a deadline in place, or when I've give myself some structure, which is something that I struggled with at the beginning of lockdown, but I'm getting with that now and going, right, this morning I'm going to write a song, or this morning I'm going to work out the structure for the first bit of Act 1, something like that. That's helped. But I am a very lazy writer, so.
Like with regards to having a big presence like within the West End, obviously it was just City of Angels, was it just then?
Yeah.
Like with a show like that, absolute beast. Love the music, but it's quite a hard show to really do, isn't it? In many respects, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a difficult score to sing, and it's totally jazz music. It is musical theatre, of course, but it's so ingrained with a jazz language as such. Some of the material in that show is very hard to sing, and the band parts are crazy. But we were very lucky to have an awesome cast and an incredibly talented band. And we got to do, I think, was it a week and a half of performances? I can't remember off the top of my head. But we were a week off press night, which was a shame. But fingers crossed we get to come back at some point in the future.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. Like talking about that language, the jazz, your style. For you, language-wise, with any given piece, the stuff that you make, the stuff that you get involved in, where did your initial inspirations lie? What sparked your passion to really hone in and make a discipline out of this art form?
Well, for actually just playing the piano, my inspiration was Elton John. And my earlier inspirations, not musical theatre, are all centered around country rock, country western, old rock and roll. Though most people know me for being an absolutely stagey person, because I'm totally into musical theatre. That's just where my brain lies, and I've just understood the language of it for a long time. I think listening to Sunday in the Park with George was the moment where things changed for me in terms of understanding what musical theatre can do, and then it all sort of spawned from there. And there we go. There's my lifelong obsession for you.
Well, you're hitting all these great shows. Have you made a list, or have you got like a bucket list of ticking these off, or is it really just seeing what happens within those moments?
I think when I started off, I certainly had a bucket list of a few shows, but it didn't take long to realize that this is not the way to do it. I can't go searching around for producers or a particular show to pop up, because it's just not going to happen. And then when it does happen and you don't get the job, it's just, it just drains you so much that there's just no point. So you just got to see what fate deals you and see what shows end up in your inbox. And always say yes to the ones that you desperately, passionately want to do. I've been lucky. Last year, I had a sort of not a bucket list for a show, but a bucket list for like certain composers and stuff like that. And that all happened for me last year, especially for Queen of the Mist and Amour, which was lovely. So that all came together quite nicely, and I wasn't looking for it, What is it they say? Don't you win the lottery when you're not trying to win the lottery? That sort of thing. Shows sort of came to the palm of my hand, which was just beautiful, really. But yeah.
And looking at beauty, actually, so, have you got, like, obviously you're talking about inspiration, you talked about Elton John with the piano, etc. But for you, when things can get a bit crazy, there's so many deadlines that, you know, I know you talked about, you know, working well under pressure, but when things are a bit overbearing and you need to find moments of inspiration, is there anything that you look to? Do you listen to a particular song? Do you go look to a certain thing, find your inspiration in that regard?
I've done a lot of shows down the Strand, Charing Cross. I've done a lot of shows there, and when it got very stressful, especially tech, I would just nip over to the National Gallery and sit in front of the George Seurat painting, the really big one with the bathers. I can't remember the title of the picture. I would sit there for half an hour, and that would cool me off. I just find it mesmerizing. It's not something I understand a lot. Art, it's not something I understand at all. But I find great pleasure and peace in just sitting in front of, particularly that painting. But music, I'd listen to Dolly Parton most of the time if I needed to get away from musical theatre for a moment. And just wanted to chill. It'd probably be Dolly, yeah.
And like touching on that artwork, actually, do you just out of interest, do you like sometimes look at a painting and does that inspire you? Does that trigger you to write a particular song at all?
That hasn't happened for me yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I was playing around with an idea centered around a composition that Mussorgsky wrote called Pictures at an Exhibition. And that's similar in terms of each piece he wrote was inspired by a different painting. And I was playing around with see if I could build a theatre piece out of that. But in terms of me actually writing a song from a picture, that hasn't happened yet. But I won't be surprised if it does in the future.
Nice. And just quickly, because I know we're starting to run out of time, but looking at obviously, hopefully City of Angels comes back straight away, but you know, going back to, and we've talked about it a lot today anyway, the palette of the audience is going to be, you know, invariably different when we do go back. For you, what type of shows do you think that we will be seeing more of, or new wise, what kind of work do you think we'll be seeing when we go back to a sense of normality and the theatres are full in swing in motion?
Well, I think it's safe to say that the big shows in the West End will be there, but there have been some casualties. Sadly, you know, some really, really big shows, which sadly won't be coming back. And I think it would be a really nice opportunity now with some empty houses to fill it with new work. Stuff that usually doesn't get seen or put up or given that extra support that will make it to the West End. And if there are empty houses available, whether it be in some sort of festival format or even if it was short week or two runs, I think it would be a smart thing to do. Whether there's an audience for that, who knows? But there's only one way to find out, isn't there? So I think that would be nice. But hey, I'll happily go watch Phantom. I haven't seen that in a while.
and Jordan, just quickly to sum it up, giving even more joy to our faces, especially during these times. Just one piece of advice that might change someone's perspective or give them more confidence in times like these.
I think the most important thing is, whilst the theatre is closed, it will come back, but allow this time to reconnect with something that you haven't connected with for a long time, whether that be family or even simply sitting in the garden and connecting with the ground. It's something as simple as that. It's something that you haven't had the time or mental time to even sit down and think about. Go for it.
Yeah, well, Jordan, thank you so much. I really hope we can get a podcast popped in later down the line. But until then, please look after yourself and stay in touch.
You too. Thanks, Bailey.
Thanks, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, everyone. That was award-winning musical director and orchestra composer playwright Jordan Lee Smith. Let's quickly look at the thingy again. Right, everyone, we have now got to £730, everyone. £730. We are I don't like odd numbers. If we can get to 800, that'd be amazing. If we get to 1,000, that would be even better. We have still got 8, 9, 10, 11, 3, maybe plus the bonus hour. So we've really got 3 to 4 hours to see if we can get it to 1,000. The link is just here. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated. It means the absolute world, not only to me, but to those that need it most. Those victims of domestic abuse that want to have a future and move on. And yes, everyone, we're going to quickly momentarily take a break because I really need the toilet and I've been sitting here for so long. Up next, we've got industry favourites. My favourite, Industry Minds, coming away. Cathy Reed is back. I can see her backstage. Hello, no one else can see her, but everyone else can hear on the server. So please stay tuned because up next, it's just the wonderful, the amazing, the lovely Cathy Reed, Industry Minds. Stay tuned. Righty, we're coming back. We're here. I'm just going to quickly grab just one alcoholic beverage, just because I feel like I need it. And it's just a toast, really, to everyone, just to say thank you. Of course, that's the reason why. It's not because I'm craving blood. No, I'm not losing my mind, I promise. But cheers, everyone. Just very quickly, I'll cheers again when I take Cathy out the backstage and we say hello. It's just an excuse to down it. But just checking it yet again. Everyone's been absolutely electric. People still. We're still really hitting on average 6,000 people on an hour per hour on this server, and then people coming in and out on this YouTube. So how extraordinary is that? And it's even more brilliant because we're on £730 for the Dash charity. Anyways, you've heard of my ugly mug enough. See my ugly mug if you've been visiting on the YouTube as well. It's probably why people are listening to the audio more than actually looking at my face, because I look absolutely awful. Look at the shine on the face. Anyways, I don't have enough money to buy a ring light. Okay. Anyways, Industry Minds are back. They're here for the next half hour. Absolutely love them. They've been so busy. Let's see what they've been up to. Cathy joins us from Industry Minds. Hello.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you doing? It looks like you've been keeping very, very busy at the moment, I see.
Very busy. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. The grad program is up and in full swing. We've had some incredible people joining us for that and giving their time for the 2020 grads, and it's just been, it's been great. It's been amazing to be able to give those opportunities to people, but obviously people have just been so generous with their time. A lot of creatives have during this time. I think we spoke about this last time. Just obviously, as everyone's got so much more time now, there's a chance to meet new people and to give advice and to give Q&As and to give workshops. And I just think it's great that so many people have been joining us. Yeah, it's been great. Thank you. How are you doing? How's this day been?
It's been absolutely extraordinary, I must say. I've been so happy. It's been extraordinary. And the variety has been amazing. Had the directors from some of my favourite box sets, like Peaky Blinders and Sherlock and all of that come in, and Mr. Selfridge and Line of Duty, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. We're talking about episodes that I love, and I'm like, oh God, keep it together, Bailey. But yeah, no, the viewers are happy. That's the most important thing. But yeah, it's been great. I had a quick meditation. Had to place that in around about 7 o'clock. Meriel was amazing. And,
you had Meriel from Still Point Space.
And Meriel, yeah.
He's sponsored our Industry Minds Awards. We love her.
Oh my God, amazing!
Yeah, love her.
Whilst we're on that, I can't remember. Sorry, because my mind's kind of gone into oblivion. I promise I'll get back in the next 2 minutes.
Not surprised.
Collaboration, obviously, the graduate support scheme is in full swing at the moment. We'll talk about it in just a second. But collaboration-wise, with the people that you do get involved in, the people like Meriel that have helped and funded you, as such, supported you. What is it about them that really that keeps you smiling, keeps you going? Why do you build those relationships with those type of people?
I think it's just like a shared energy and wanting to make things better in the industry, and that when you meet them, you just know that they care and they want to make things better. And it's not a personal gain thing. It's not a promotion thing or anything. It's just what can we do if we come together? How can we help people if we come together? And I was introduced to Meriel, I think, through my teacher, one of my teachers at college. But she's fantastic. I've been to a couple of her meditation classes as well. And she's just like a real light and a real gorgeous person. And she just gives so much of her time and her expertise. And she really is fantastic. So I think, when we like do kind of collaborations like this, and obviously the people that sponsored us for the awards last year, it's just a shared kind of vision and passion for wanting to help people and wanting to move things forward. And it's really lovely when we see so many people who want to do that within the arts.
Yeah, amazing. And like going back to that graduate scheme, obviously the first time we talked, it was kind of just at the beginning of the process. And like looking at it now, how what's the sensation been like just seeing it just unravel? Because I've talked to a few guys that you've had help tutor and things like that.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, just to I think that actually the 2020 grads this year are getting so many opportunities now that that this has all happened, because everyone's kind of come together and gone, your showcase has been cancelled, you're not able to get out an audition, what can we do for you guys? And so they're meeting people that they might not necessarily have had the chance to meet and to have a conversation with, to chat with. And I think also it brings it down on not brings it down to one level, but I think there's often, especially with grads, and I know that I was like this, you can worry that there's a big hierarchy within the industry, and the agent or the casting director or the producer are up here, and you can't talk to them and you can't ask them questions, and that they're really, really important. And of course they're important, and everyone's job is important, but theatre wouldn't work without everyone. And I think that being able to like sit on a Zoom with them, I mean, we haven't been in the sessions, I've hosted a couple from my computer, so I've heard a couple of them, but just the feedback we've been getting where people have been like, oh, really positive like session, asking questions and stuff. And it's just so lovely that these amazing agents, casting directors and everything are just giving up their time to just answer people's questions that they might not have wanted to ask in another situation, but they've got the chance to do that now. And yeah, it's been great to work with some fantastic people. And everyone's just been so, yeah, sure, I'll do a session here, do a session there, like just no bother at all just such amazing people in our industry. They really is.
Yeah, and what's it like to really, like last time we were talking about like being the bit like part of really the heart of this industry now, you've really found a way of like really having that presence in the industry. But like right now, from the journey that you have had, and I know we talked about your journey, but like just seeing how it is right now and really ultimately changing people's lives, making them meet the right people. What for you as a creative? What is that feeling like when you are getting all those reviews back, seeing that there is a change happening?
It's very humbling that just a little idea has managed to help a lot of people. Obviously, our main thing is mental health, and the fact that we're able to support people through our counsellor and through our mental health seminars and everything, and that's really I don't really even know if humbling's the right word. It's kind of just heartwarming to know that just like that little idea has spiraled into this like platform that is taking mental health like forward in the industry. And I think just like giving giving the people the opportunity to meet people is lovely, but it really is the creatives that are giving their time to the program. Like if they didn't give their time, then we wouldn't be able to offer this. And I think that over the past like couple of years, there's been a real shift in the industry, and it feels like people are helping people, and people are giving out their expertise more, because we all just need to help each other and collaborate. Like theatre is such a collaborative process, from the producer getting everyone on board to the agent to the actor to working everything out. And I think it's just, yeah, it's all the people that are helping around that are really making it what it is, I think.
Yeah, and when things are like spiraling out and everything's happening and it's kind of slotting into place, as it were, like obviously talking about the talks here, the Q&A's there, the support programs, this, that, and the other. How on earth are you getting sleep?
So we have to be careful, because there was a time when we were just putting together the first couple of weeks, and I remember I'd been on my emails all day, and I woke up, I was just drifting off to sleep, and then I suddenly remembered I hadn't done something, and I woke myself up, went to my phone, wrote must email this person, set it as a reminder for 9 a.m. the next morning, and then went back to sleep. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, that's not healthy, I should probably be getting a little bit more sleep. So I think just like writing down, like we write down like daily tasks of what we need to do, make sure that we get them done on that day, but also make sure that we have time when we're not like on emails or we're not doing it. Like I'm taking this weekend off to just like, we've just been on a big drive down to like Guildford and Chichester and stuff, just through the countryside, just because I haven't left London in like 4 months. So we were like, let's go and get some greenery, and we don't have a garden here, so we're like, let's go get some greenery. So yeah, I mean we've got it down now, but I think there is a tendency that if there's a lot going on, we can sometimes we just have to compartmentalize it, and we just have to say, right, we're doing this on this day and this on this day, just as you would with any job. You don't let it get too much. You make sure that your time management skills are there. But we love doing the work, and we've been doing some Q&As and some talks recently at colleges as well, which has been lovely. It's just really nice to connect. We've just connected with loads of people throughout lockdown that we might not have got the chance to connect with normally because of schedules.
Yeah, sorry.
What'd you say?
Backstage, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, that was Mary. That was our counsellor, Mary. She went on and spoke with Backstage, which is really, really cool. So yeah, she did a mental health one for them.
Awesome. And yeah, like leading all the live Q&As, because I know you're doing them. Is it via Instagram as well? I can't remember where you're doing your whole thing.
So we did one in through Instagram. We had Faye Timby from Sophie Holland's office on, which was cool. I led that one, which was really weird because I've never done a live anything. I know you're like a proper pro at it, but I just kind of sat there with my phone and I was like, is there anyone here? It was so strange. But I really enjoyed it. But the mentors have been leading them themselves. So there's only been a couple that we've logged in our Zoom, and we've just kind of gone, hey everyone, Cathy here, and then so and so is going to take on the rest of it. And I think it kind of cuts out the middle person. It means that the grads don't feel that they're going through us to them. It means that they can just straight away ask them a question, and it's not like, oh Cathy, can you mediate this and like forward this question to this person. It just means that they can have a conversation in the room, which again takes out that kind of like hierarchy thing, and means that they're all on the same level because they're all just in a little box on Zoom just chatting. So yeah, that's been great. So the only one that we actually held on Instagram was Faye Timby's, and the rest have been done over Zoom, and it's worked pretty well so far, I think.
Yeah, and sustainability. Obviously, you have this image, this almost expectation, as it were, then I guess, because you've created this brand where everyone's like, industry minds, yeah, that's it. Okay, we know what this is all about. For you, when it does come down to expectations, are you grounded very much within that present moment, or are you still doing the stuff that's going on at the moment but still thinking, what's next?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely think about stuff going forward, and especially at the moment when we don't really know what's going to be happening. Obviously, we had a load of plans for 2020 which haven't been able to happen because of COVID-19. But I'd say that we make sure that we're giving our 100% to whatever we're putting on at that point, while kind of like running ideas in the background for going forward, really. Because I think it's important to give your all to what you've got going on at that moment. But obviously, because there's me, there's Scarlett, there's Mary, there are 3 different people. So when Mary's got the counselling part of it, like me and Scarlett have got the grad scheme part of it, or I'm sorting out emails for the grad scheme and Scarlett's sorting out some Q&As or something that's going to be happening later on in the year. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, we can kind of split it up a bit, which is good.
Nice. And like with that, like splitting up and developing those ideas, even when everything is going on, it's like, oh my goodness. Do you still have like the same, like last time we were talking about the brainstorming of how industry minds were born? Do you have a similar way of doing that? Is it just a general chat where like, oh, I've got this, and then you kind of just you develop it, or is it sometimes you take the lead on this and then everyone else follows in a way? So
Scarlett comes up with a lot of amazing ideas, and the grad scheme was Scarlett's idea, and it's usually that it'll come from, sometimes like we'll be having discussions about things, about like what we think could change in the industry or what we could do to help, or something. So like, for example, like as we said, like when our counselling service started, that's because someone unfortunately took their life, and we were like, we need to do more. And then it took us a little bit to be like, right, what is the more that we're going to be doing? So yeah, so it's very much a I've got this idea, what do you think about it? Yeah, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that, and then it kind of like merges and grows a little bit. Yeah, I'm just looking at my hands on the screen, and I'm realizing it's like the wrong way around. So like I put on my right hand, and it's like the opposite hand that's going on.
Sorry, it's so confusing.
Yeah, it's really strange.
I'm like, hello, but no, it's really hello.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know if that answered your question, but we do. little ideas come to us, and sometimes we'll be in an interview with someone and someone will be saying something about something that might help them within the industry, and we go, oh, could we do something like that? And obviously we're limited by time, by money, by kind of just like who we are and what influence we have as two mid-20s creatives. But yeah, there's always a lot of new ideas floating about, and just seeing how we can develop it. And I mean, to think it started out as just a podcast. I mean, not just a podcast. The podcast's brilliant, and I love the podcast, and I still edit them every week and everything. And we love getting different people on to chat and stuff. But like, I think that, yeah, ideas just kind of spring out of what's going on at the moment. So the grad scheme idea came to Scarlett because of, she felt that there was a lack of support for the grads at the time that she thought of it, and that we could hopefully do something to help. So that's kind of just where it came from, really.
Yeah, is it a mixture then? Because sometimes it's like looking of what needs to be catered towards this industry, but also sometimes going with your own passions, with your own gut, and then is it the two then really?
Yeah, I would say so. So I'd say like things like the Industry Minds Awards, that was definitely like a passion thing. So it was like, we want to celebrate people within the industry. It's not necessarily something that anyone's asked for, but we think that it would be a great way to kind of culminate 1 year of Industry Minds and 1 year of opening up the conversation more. And so that was definitely like I guess you could call it a passion project. But it was, I think that it really was a great idea. And I think that it was an incredible night, and it really showed us just how much people are, like, the attitudes towards mental health have changed, and how people are just so ready to talk about it for the most part now. But then again, with the counselling and with the seminars and with the grad scheme, that was born from, what are people asking for? What do people need? So yeah, I would say that it's a mixture, yeah.
Do you think we will be seeing more of those awards and those nights of celebrations coming our way?
I hope so. Obviously, we don't know what we can do. In terms of theatres, it's all very, very up and down at the moment, isn't it? Some people thinking that things are going to be opening towards the end of the year, and then obviously the announcement from Cameron McIntosh is saying that they're 2021. It's very, and then will people even want to come back in a theatre? So, I mean, oh, lost you there for a second. Are you still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm still there. Oh, are you there?
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Don't worry, I can see you. It looks like you're a bit frozen.
Hello?
Hello? Are you there? Cathy? No, come on. We've been doing so well. Wait.
Oh. I'm not sure whose internet connection it is.
I think it might be.
Can you hear me now?
I'm not sure. I can hear you.
Yes.
Right. I'll see. Oh, you're starting to come back. I'm just going to quickly take you away, and then I'll bring you back. Let's see if this helps. Oh, we've done so well, and we've only had a couple of technical difficulties with regards to internet connection to this, but I'm sure we can get Cathy back. Let's see.
Yeah, no problem.
There we go.
Hello, you got me now.
Got you now.
Sorry about that.
It's probably, the system's probably tired. Let's put it that way. There you go.
How strange. What was I talking about? I was talking about the Industry Minds Awards. So obviously, I mean, there's obviously an option to have things virtually. There's an option to do something and maybe live stream it. And then obviously, if things are opening up again, then hopefully we might be able to do something and push it back a little bit. But at the moment, we really, really don't know. In complete honesty, we don't know what we'll be allowed to do. So that's something to think about. But I think what is great is that there's been, even though the industry has been kind of on pause since March, there has been so much incredible work being done online, and that we can definitely celebrate that and celebrate the people that have given their time and that have helped people and that have supported people with their mental health throughout lockdown.
Exactly. And thinking about actually what Macintosh obviously made a big statement saying, talking about theatres and productions. For you, do you think, like, talked about this earlier actually, about making big statements? Do you think we need to make more big statements for a change to happen, and to happen quickly as well, for this industry that's depleting by the second?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You know, it's so difficult when you're so constrained by what the government are saying. And I think also with the fact that, I mean, you've probably seen that petition that's been going around the past couple of days, that like the theatre industry needs more help, because I mean, it brings in billions and billions of pounds to the UK economy, and yet they're just like, oh no, it's fine. It's like, come on, we need this help. This is stuff that's been built over like hundreds of years, that might not come back. I think in terms of making like big statements, if it gets people to listen, then yeah, great. But it's really difficult. I think, I mean, we all know that, like, if the government was like, you can go back to theatres, you can go back to this, then we'd all be like, right, cool, see you Monday, because we're also desperate to get back into it. But it's so tricky. It's such a tricky one, and I don't know if I'm the person to answer that question.
Yeah. Today we a lot we've been talking about also what kind of theatre we might be seeing when we go back to the sense of normality. For you, what type of theatre do you want to see when we go back to a sense of normality? Normality.
So there's two sides to this, I think, because I understand that from a commercial point of view, people are going to have to maybe put some big people in some big shows to get people back into the theatre if the public wants to do that. However, I do think that this is an opportunity to see some new stuff and to create some new work, and to, if we maybe can't put theatre on a huge scale, why don't we like invest our time and our money in putting theatre on a slightly smaller scale and telling those stories that we haven't told yet with the people that we haven't seen, putting the theatre on that we all talk about and that we all want to see, and the exciting stories that we want to hear, but isn't necessarily commercially viable for a big producer. But if they're not allowed to put stuff in big theatres that have 2,000 seaters, but they're allowed to put stuff in like a 200-seater theatre, then isn't that a great opportunity? And then maybe we might see some like really exciting stuff. Like, some of the best stuff I've seen has been really small stuff and stuff up at the Fringe. And I think that it would be a shame to go completely back to how we were. I think that we should at least try and use this opportunity to showcase some new talent, and to, as in like writing talent, directing talent, as well as acting talent. I would hope that that's what would happen. I'd love to see some really exciting stuff that's come out of this, even with like the collaborations that people have made over Zoom. Like, someone's put out a tweet being like, oh, I'm gonna have like a play read of my new play. Do you want to come and read it? And then they found like their cast and they're like, oh my God, you'd be great for that. Like, I'd love to see that realized on stage. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be so exciting.
It's an amazing story. And I think also as well, like, if we can, let's just put that on there. Clayton saying, I agree.
Thanks, Clayton.
It'll be on in a little while. And for oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my God, I was so demanding of putting that note on. No, with regards to, what were we saying? Sorry.
Like, so say for example, if people have like had a Zoom play reading or something, and then they put that on, like new theatre, new. Oh
yes, well, it's rebuilding the blocks, isn't it, and really giving people a chance. I think this is the opportunity that I think people should take, instead of just, because it's really hard, isn't it? It's like, you know, the richer are getting richer and the poorer are getting like even poorer. It's going to be even harder, even though there's going to be more people. Financially, it's going to be even more difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't think we can underestimate how tough this has been on a large proportion of our industry. Obviously, if you are eligible for the self-employment scheme, then that's great. But a lot of people weren't, and I feel like they've kind of been forgotten about. necessarily want to get like too political on it, but I do remember them saying that nobody would be left behind, and I do feel that quite a lot of people have been, and it's just not fair. And I wish I could do more to help personally. So I do hope that there's more opportunities for people when we come back. I think there's just such a market for it. Like, I'm interested in that. I'm not necessarily interested in seeing a West End show that I've already seen 3 times. Although they're fantastic and fantastic for tourism. Like, we might not be able to have a lot of tourists coming to the country for a while. So why not bring it back to British theatre, to like some British writers, get all these people that are on these like young writing courses and everything, like get their work out there. I just think that it's such a good opportunity. And then maybe it gets picked up, maybe it gets taken somewhere bigger. If you think about, I know this is a really obvious example, but like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her show Fleabag, it started off at like a really tiny theatre and it got like really bad reviews, and now she's like an Emmy Award winner. Like, that's where you go. That's why you're supporting like young people and building them up. And I just think we've got a really great opportunity to do that. And I really, really hope that we don't see it as a chance. I hope we don't see theatres opening again as a chance to be like, we need to make money back. And I get that. I totally get that. And I can't even understand the pressure that a lot of producers will be under at the moment. It must be so stressful. But I hope that if we can open in the big theatres, that we take that opportunity to do something in a smaller space, and to see new people and to see new work. I just think that would be a really great thing.
Well, Cathy, before we quickly close it up, come on, taking ourselves maybe out of this conversation and subject. Come on, you're having some downtime this weekend. You've had a lovely drive. Have you got any nice plans left for the rest of the week? The weather's been lovely today.
Yeah, it has been. It's been really nice. So tomorrow we're gonna go and see my uncle, socially distanced, don't worry. I haven't seen him since Christmas, but he lives by himself, so he hasn't seen anyone in the family for like months and months and months. And my boyfriend's working in Reading next week, so he's hired a car, so that's why we have a car. So I just texted my uncle and was like, should we come see you? So we're going to go sit in his garden and have some food, because it's going to be nice tomorrow. So I think just a chill weekend, and enjoy the sunshine before it gets too hot next week, and I can't deal with it, because I can't deal with anything over about 23, because I was born in Edinburgh. So not happening. It's going to be unbearable. Apparently it's going to be like 30 degrees on Wednesday. Absolutely not happy with it.
All right, well, Cathy, thank you so much. It's been so lovely to see you again. Please enjoy the weekend, enjoy time with the uncle, and yes, I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Lovely to see you, and well done. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much. Look after yourself. Take care.
See you later.
Oh my goodness, that was the lovely Cathy Reed, Industry Minds. Always, oh my God, lovely. Stole my heart. There we go. Love her so much. Right, let's quickly check where we are. Let's see if this has moved. It hasn't, but we are still on an extraordinary whopping £730. I'm going to be cheeky again and put the link right here. It's been amazing, guys. For those that are new tuning in, those coming back, those who are popping in now and again on the YouTube, or who are sick of my ugly mug, if you can, please, if you have any spare monies going, and I know it's really hard for everyone, if you could donate to the Dash charity on my Just Giving page, you really be helping people who are being domestically abused, and you'll be helping them move on and have a future. But yes, we'll leave that just quickly there. And oh my goodness, from an amazing person to another amazing person, an extraordinary talent. We're being joined now by Jamie Zubairi. I will always say how much I love this man. His voice, his work. I can see him just down there. He's a multi-faceted, talented being, as it were. And I'm just going to really just shut up and let him and his work do this, the talking. He's got a little a set coming our way, some performances coming our way, some sharing. But before, let's just see how he's doing. Jamie Zubairi, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm good. Oh, hello. I'm just adjusting I bought myself a little vanity light here, just because. Yeah, I'm also visiting my brother, so hence the flamingo wallpaper.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely, yeah.
No. How's it visiting the brother?
I mean, so it's kind of physically distanced, but it's fine. We've had, it's kind of good going on. I mean, being driven there, it's fine. Yeah, it's just kind of like, nice to see him, really. So yeah, it's all a bit like, okay, the easing of lockdown is kind of happening, but I'm still like a bit suspicious of everything. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't like going out into crowds and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just kind of coping with it, really.
Yeah, nice. And how have you been getting on since we spoke last at Tk2 Lounge?
Good. Just I've just started all sorts of courses. Kind of just trying to get back into it. Really, just I'm doing the 21-day monologue challenge. I'm doing a voiceover workshop. I'm still running the life drawing classes every Tuesday, and I've started a portrait commission. So it's just kind of like trying to fill the time with like stuff that I want to do and I want to finish. I've been challenged to finish the play that I've been writing for 5 years. So yeah, a friend of mine's helping me look at some scenes and just see how it sounds, because it's all in iambic. So that's kind of where I'm at, kind of creatively. Otherwise, it's just really kind of like, yeah, just kind of trying to keep the head together and look at all the stuff that's happened in the past few weeks and try to take it in and try to see what we can do. And Cathy, that was an amazing interview from Cathy. I mean, wow. She certainly knows her stuff.
Yeah.
Really, like, yeah. Really, I mean, all that stuff about the, homegrown talent, while we're not allowed to have like international tours and all that kind of stuff, because that's not going to happen. Really kind of well thought out. I think it's now is the time for plowing money into the new writers and all that kind of stuff. That's where it should be. Kind of growing from seed, because it looks like the big theatres want to wipe the slate clean for a while, but that's the financial option, which is difficult.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, talking about writing, I'm going to leave now and shoot. And is it all right if you do what you do best and show us what you've got for us this evening?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much for setting this up, Bailey. Thank you. Well, I'm going to start with a few poems. Well, no, I'm going to just do a few poems. I'm going to start because that's all I'm going to do is poems. Okay, let me see if I can do this one. Show me something funny. Tell me a joke. Sing me a song. My heart is so tired, my head is so woke. And the crowded voices that wake me are just too much noise. I'm picking through the rabble to hear the one that calls me to the water, to look out to the sky. And there it is, the quietest. I'm stepping over rubble to hear your voice, the cushion of your arms, the duvet of your sound. Show me something funny. Tell me a joke. Sing me a song. Let me sleep until in your arms I can be awoke. That was probably the latest one. This is probably I don't know if it's the saddest one, but yeah, because of the current situation. It's awful to say current situation as if it's a big euphemism. I hate that euphemism. It's COVID-19. It's like, the world is upended. This is one about that and for those that we have lost. Why we gather, We gather not because you are gone, not because I wish to feel the weight of you on my sofa, not because I have too much drink in, not because I have the nuts you like, but gathered we are, waiting. Who knows why? To feel your breathing, to hear your song, to make the room warm with your laugh. We gather here. But I hear you in the in-between. I see you as I close my eyes. I see your smile when I open my curtains, your embrace in a hot chocolate, your sadness in the shadow of my block. We gather to hear the stories you have long forgotten to tell me, and the ones I long to hear again. This, I mean, I'm at my brother's, and I'm just trying to remember it, but my niece said, Jamie, I've got a poem. I was like, oh, okay, wow, she's 5. Watching from my window, I see the flowers bloom. Watching from my window, I see the leaves green. Watching from my window, I see the trucks pass. Watching from my window. She's 5, and she's like, I wrote that because I'm a cat. I'm like, okay, yeah. She gets it. She gets it. Sorry, there's a slight pause while I read my own poems because I've not looked at them for a while. Will you hear it from me? I can no longer stand by. Will you hear my voice with yours? For fear of being found, for fear of being blamed. Too long have I stood by and said, in my brownness, in my whiteness, in my shame, thank God not me. Can you hear it from me? I want to hold you and tell you you matter in this place, beyond the shame, beyond the blame, a place where my life matters, when your life matters, a place where freedom comes, where I can see you and I can see them, where you can see you, and I can see me. Can you hear that? It's the low notes. It's the call from the gut that starts from the earth and flies to the air. It's the low blows, the punch to the gut, the blood on the earth, the screams in the air. It's the long march, each person moving forward, both feet on the earth, one song in the air. It's the long stand, against what's accepted, one knee on the earth, one fist in the air. This is also called Will We Remember? We will remember this day when we came together, creeping out of door, squinting into streets. Will we remember what we've learned about each other? How we are together in this strange grace? Now the everyday has seeped back in. Will I remember what I've discovered about who I am when I am alone? Will I remember who we are while we're connected through thin wires threading through this city? Will I remember the who, the what, the why I am? Will I remember this day? This day I can hold your hand. And I'm going to end. I've probably just done 3 minutes, but it feels like forever. When this is over, when the numbers have fallen, when we can give our neighbors a hug, when we can kiss our grandparents on both cheeks like they do in Rome, when we can whisper to our parents and our children, I love you, in their ear. When the sound of children playing is coming from the schoolyard, when my neighbor in her blue uniform can finally smile. Someone baked her a cake last week. I made her a curry and felt bad that she had her pudding before her main. When this is over, I'll know her name. When this is over, can you imagine the celebration of the simple things, the party in the street rejoicing in holding hands, standing side by side, the festival we will have after stockpiling love, hoarding kisses and hamstering embraces, and dancing like no one is watching in full sight. And that's what I've got prepared.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. That last one, always, I've heard you do that a couple of times, and it's so lovely, that one.
It's the one that sort of, it has the most hope in it, I feel. And it's about people, you know, so it's the one that that brings me joy to read as much as, I hope, as much as everybody else, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. Do you find most, in your writing, do you find most, does it just come out in a stream of consciousness? Do you place it? Do you just have a spiel and then like refine it, or like what's your process in that regard?
A bit of both, really. Sometimes a lot of the poems that I've written recently, I've written within a 2-hour frame, because every Sunday, and partially I do tech hosting for a Kaylee that happens in Scotland. Well, my musician friend's in Scotland, and she doesn't know how to handle the tech for like the sound for other people, so I do that for her. Mari Campbell, if you've ever watched Sex and the City 2, I think there's a wedding scene or something, and there's a version of Auld Lang Syne that plays, and it's her version that is being heard on Sex and the City. So it's kind of like she does that song after closing every show. It's like it's really like, oh my god. So I do the tech thing for her, and in between people's songs and all that kind of stuff, whatever they're saying, sometimes it's a line in their song or it's whatever they've said, I just pick up on it, and sometimes it reverberates in me and I kind of go, that's amazing, and I just have to write it down in my own words, and then I have a collection of kind of weird, so it's a weird thing of the evening. It's a weird sort of like record of the evening's kind of creativity that's gone on with other people, and I'm just like there pushing buttons, kind of going, "You're on next," you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. I don't quite do that, but you know, I mute everybody when it's needed, and you know, make sure that people go into the breakout rooms and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so and sometimes it's walking, looking, you know, looking out my window on the balcony for hours, contemplating nature and life and all that kind of stuff, and things happen. I see things, and I look and I see interactions on the street or, you know, down below, and kind of go, what are they saying? What is that? What, you know, what is their life? So that's how the poems come about. And then and within the 2 hours, I'll sort of tessellate the thoughts into something hopefully coherent. And sometimes it'll kind of go, okay, that needs a bit more thinking. So yeah, but within the 2 hours, something does happen, and something does get created. And sometimes a fragment for another poem will happen, and like, okay, yeah, that's not good for this one, but it's good for something else, you know.
From a playing record to then a broken record, looking at the now, and hopefully we'll be able to get through these times, and we're seeing fragments of light coming our way. But for you to give people that sense of positivity, give people a sense of light, what can you say just to give them a little bit more maybe reassurance that we will get through this, that being through all the matters that are going through at the moment, which is delving into like a political forum. I don't want to go on to that because we don't do the show. But also those who are, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, but they don't know how to do it because they don't know if they can ask the questions. They don't know if they can.
I mean, I'm learning as much as the next person. You know, I'm mixed race, Anglo-Asian and Anglo-Malay, and I kind of feel as if there's, you know, I know that there's learning that, because I didn't grow up in England. I was born here, but I didn't grow up here. So I'm learning, like, my friends have had different experiences to I have, you know, white and black, and hearing my black friends' experiences possibly for the first time, because I just assumed everything was okay. And of course that is the wrong assumption, because a lot of them said, yeah, we just accept it as a way of life. And you kind of go, oh God, fuck. Sorry. Oh God, hell.
Fine. You can swear. We're getting to the 9 o'clock mark anyway. Come on.
So it's really learning about that learning. So I'm kind of having to start, not to say from scratch, but certainly see what I've picked up from the street, picked up from, you know, lived experiences of other people, and kind of gone, okay, this, you know, reading Natives or British or all of those books that are kind of quite current and about the now, or, you know, at least in the past 20 years, 20, 30 years, 40 years, in fact, you know, so learning about kind of recent history and recent sociological issues. I don't know. And then you see kids playing of every color and hue and all that kind of stuff. You go, that's what matters. That's what matters, you know, not, you know, give that time to grow, give that a space to grow, and not pull it apart. That's how we can do it. I don't know if our generation will see it, you know, because I'm 40 something. Hopefully your generation, because you're 20 something, I believe. So yeah.
No, I'm 20. I know I look a bit old.
Yeah, because I mean you're 20, so you're kind of like,
yeah, I'm getting the age put on me.
And I'm not giving up on my generation, but I'm certainly like, it's a lot harder to shift. You know, I'm having arguments with people, with friends and relatives about this every day on Facebook, and trying not to be beaten down by it, and trying not to I don't know, come across as a, you know, social justice warrior, which I probably am, which I'm doing. Well, who cares? You know, if I didn't know about this stuff, you know, the chances are they didn't know about this stuff either, you know. So so it's time to kind of, I don't know, not to say educate people, because I'm sure people think they are educated, but it's time to open minds up. You know, whether it's about, you know, what our industry does, or, you know, so, you know, society, we've all got fixed ideas, you know. I don't think any of my non-theatre friends think there's an issue with theatre, or with, you know, because everybody assumes that, you know, you're an actor, you're constantly doing, you know, radio or, you know, audiobooks and all that kind of stuff. You think it's all, you know, people think it's glamorous, when we know that it's not. Well, you know, it's not glamorous. It's, you know, you get your press night once, you know, in 6 months of doing a show. So, you know, so as a percentage, it's not the glamour, it's the work that you put in, that people don't see. People see, you know, people go to your show one night, and they don't see that, they don't realize that you've done it, you know, 7 nights that week, 7 times that week, and you've done it for, you know, however many weeks, however many months you've been in a show. And that's if you're doing a long running show. But, you know, a short show, like a month run, you kind of, you know, everything's geared up to working and making that show the best thing it can be. And people don't see the work. They just kind of see like the glamour, which is great, you know, because it should be inspirational. I don't know. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Jamie. We've run out of time, but I'm sure we can. We will most definitely continue this conversation anyway. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody. Yes, and well done, Bailey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, donations are still coming in. I can't believe we're near £800 for this amazing cause. Jamie, look after yourself. All right.
Yes, I'm going to be donating right now. Okay.
See you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Righty. Okay, guys, we're nearly at £800 for the Dash charity. Absolutely extraordinary. I must say we are going to be able, it's going to make a difference to the people who are facing domestic abuse right now, before, and ultimately in the future, sadly, but it will be giving them a stronger future, a brighter future. Thank you so much. I can't believe it. I only wanted like £100. I mean, we've gone through that. But thank you so much for everyone who stayed on the server, and also those who are passing through on the YouTube. I'm getting more of a shine, so that's probably why we're having less people and then more people coming in frequently on the YouTube, because I've got an ugly mug. But there we go. There we are. Okay, we're running a little bit late, but bringing us through into past the 9 o'clock hour is Carrie-Anne. Now, Carrie-Anne, choreographer for Six the Musical, resident choreographer for Hamilton, is here. I've been seeing her backstage at the moment. Can't wait to quickly click on and have her in here. We're going to talk about her fantastical career, also resume the conversation that we were having with Jamie, talk about recent matters, the current climate, and she's here also to kick off the celebratory section for the Black Lives Matter movement that we have, which the Poetry World UK will be doing, kicking us off a little later on. But before that, firstly, Carrie-Anne. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. Been very, very excited, as well as meeting everyone that you've come across, especially in the Six world. But yeah, like down your end, if it's okay, just carrying on the conversation from Jamie, because I know we were going to address certain matters. But for you, how have you been dealing with the current climate? Where do you kind of sit with everything that's going on at the moment?
I think there has been so much thrown up in this time, and I think for so many people that I've spoken to, of course, it's incredibly horrible to have a pandemic on our hands. But on the flip side of that, I think it's given a lot of people time for themselves, time for their families, time to listen to subject matters that maybe wouldn't have been as highlighted to them as they would have been in everyday life, i.e. the Black Lives Matter movement, everything that is happening in Yemen, like a whole multitude of things. And for most people, I think it's given them a real appreciation for what they have, even though, like I said, it's under a cloud of something that is obviously not very nice at all. But I think it's allowed certainly me and a lot of my friends to get off the treadmill, the work treadmill, for a second, even though we're all very grateful for our work. But, you know, you can never not have time for yourself. And that is something that I'm not very good at, for sure. So I think definitely having time for yourself, time with your family, and like I said, being able to potentially research or look into matters that maybe would have passed you by in a couple of posts in everyday life has suddenly become a little bit more of a talking subject between families, between friends, having difficult conversations that might have been hard to bring up initially, but, you know, are slightly more able to now.
Yeah, and thank you for addressing that, and thinking about like recognizing things in yourself, having a check-in, like looking at and just jumping straight into the thick of it, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Is like just because of time, like we've had 14 hours and everything's still pushed for time, for goodness sake. Like recognizing how on earth do you focus on every detail when everything's happening on stage? Like when you're choreographing it, how does everything come in check? Because you have a big ensemble, a smaller ensemble, but you still have to cater to the individual. How does your mind work in those circumstances?
I think from the get-go, from a child, I think I was always somebody that whenever I went to the theatre, I was obviously hooked by a story and, you know, potentially by certain performers, but I was always looking at everything. I always wanted to, you know, I was like, the light's moving that way. Why is the light moving that way? Where's that going? How does that bit of set move there? So it was always something that was really intriguing to me. And obviously as a kid, I wouldn't have been able to put it into necessarily that language. But as I got older, I just realized I was kind of interested in everything. I was interested in why the music was happening that way. How does the music come out? And I think it's just always been something that's inbuilt in me to look at everything. And I think once you really understand the, I don't know, the end game, so to speak, I think you understand the purpose of everything that knits together and why it has to be a certain way. And when something stands out for not doing part of that job, it really sticks out to me. So like I said, there's an end game, there's an end product. We need to convey a certain message, or this needs to hit this certain mark, or whatever it is. So if something ever so slightly comes out of that, if that's a light, if that's, you know, a slipped line, if it's a slipped move, if we all know what the end product is, it makes that a little bit more obvious to me.
And helping it, like,
that makes any sense.
Yeah, a bit more streamlined, like a bit smoother, I guess, the process.
Yeah, and you know, it's part of being. I've grown up being the teacher, the dance captain, the assistant, or the associate. So my eye is kind of more akin and more used to having to normally actually look for what's wrong rather than what's right, which is hard when you then just go to the theatre to enjoy it. You're like this, going, oh well, they missed their count of 8, or they. You're suddenly like, oh, So I have to try and learn to switch that off at points.
Yeah, like how do you, like, obviously talking about like visualizing the end product, the end game, but with your process in choreographing an award-winning shows, how do you approach it? Do you just workshop the ideas? Do you just see how it is within the room, and then find inspiration through that? Do you lock yourself away?
Not anymore. No, I think it's for me, it's, especially if you're working in collaboration with a director, a writer, musical director, I think it's so important for all of you to have a similar end game and just know what you're all aiming for, so that you can all be singing off a similar hymn sheet. So for example, with 6, Lucy and Jamie, the directors, had very, very clear ideas of how they wanted the queens to be represented. I came in at a point where the music was, you know, there was a very good ground plan for the music, because they'd already had a student outing of the show. So they were just then sort of doing more fixes that they'd wanted to do for a long time. So it was really clear kind of the impact that they wanted to make, the story that needed to come across at that point. So I could take those ingredients and then kind of mix them up in my own bowl. Quite often, I actually, you know, I do quite like working away from people, not necessarily shut away, but I don't actually love working in front of a mirror. I think it takes longer. I think you analyze every move rather than just getting a feeling for something. And I'm a lot about feeling, character, narrative. How is that coming across? And I think I just do that better when I'm not constantly analysing myself in a mirror. But as long as I'm staying true to what the script needs or what the show needs, then I feel that it kind of finds its way a little bit more naturally, rather than just like, I just want this to be the most amazing dance number, because it's just not going to work in the show as a whole.
Yeah, like with that, like with the dance being like the universal language, and having that sense of feeling going through sensation. I know through people that I've talked to today, the queens finding their personality and bringing it to them. Absolutely loved having loads of different conversations with people, I must say, about this. It's been like I've had like a backstage exclusive. Like I feel like I've gone behind
behind the scenes
venues. But like with the show like that, even though it's, you know, it has got that massive contemporary edge, like finding the vocabulary with anything that you do choreograph and tell that story. How do you stick it to that particular era, so we really know the journey that we will be getting on, what the audience will be receiving within that moment, within that scene?
I think it's a case of like I said, for me, everything relates to story and character. So obviously there might be some jobs that I'm asked on where, for example, when I did some work on Jeeves and Wooster, it was very evident they wanted a 1920s Charleston feel. That's what went with the play. But with other shows that I've worked on, they've actually been super open to styles used, including music styles used. But I'm very driven by the music. I'm very driven by the story. So again, for me, if I was just choreographing a piece that was just for me and it didn't have to relate to any theme or any narrative, it would just be whatever music clicks into my ear and however my body naturally reacts to that. But if I'm working on a show, like I said, it really, for me, the foundation of everything has to start from the story and the character, because then I feel that the moves are naturally whatever needs to be delivered to make that point or to create that character. And yes, they might be slightly rounded by if we're using a funk track or if we're using a pop track or a rock track. But I'm a lover of mixing so many different styles together. I trained in and still try to train in various different styles, and I love adding a bit of a mix of everything, like a dance cocktail, because at the end of the day, like I said, unless if you haven't got a specific brief, I don't see why you can't sort of mix and match things.
Yeah, and just to sum it up, it's kind of going like backwards to forwards, but with it all, but really just your journey. What sparked you to, obviously you're talking about looking at the stars and alignment, but how did everything align for you to really be like, oh yeah, I really want to get involved with this industry that has got all this content. I want to dip my toes in. I want to jump in head first.
I think it was just the only thing I ever really wanted to do. Like, I've been dancing since I was 2.5, and it was kind of very evident from the early years that, like, oh, she's doing more classes. Oh, she's there 7 days a week. Oh, she's going away to train. It kind of, you know, didn't, the only time it varied was to either be an actress, which is obviously in the similar vein, or to be a physiotherapist, which are the people I give a lot of money to now. So it kind of was always the thing that I wanted to do. And I'm at my happiest there. I was not really going to rest until I did it. And I had quite a up and down first 5 years out of college, but I was just saying to somebody else today, I was having a conversation with a friend, and I was like, I wouldn't change any of it, because through every job I've learned something, whether it's how to do something, how not to do something. I've met somebody that has, you know, potentially recommended me for something else. And, you know, especially choreography, that was always something I loved doing. I loved making up the dance at the end of term, or, you know, making up a festival dance, and all those kind of things were always things that I loved. So I think it was just inbuilt in my DNA that this was what I was going to do. And I adore teaching, and I love teaching as well. And, you know, they've managed to all come under a wonderful dance umbrella that I'm really grateful for.
Well, thank you, Carrie. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Before we could say goodbye, taking us into the next segment, which has been a poetry program, which is celebrated a lot about the Black Lives Matter movement. Just a quick message that maybe just sums up maybe what we said earlier at the beginning of the conversation, giving people maybe a bit of hope or a bit more understanding on really what's going on, what can happen, what will be.
I just think, to be honest, I don't think anybody knows what will be, but I just think that there's all some positive change that we can all make within our lives, whether that is educating ourselves more on the cultures that surround us in the UK, whether it is talking to friends about their history and different circumstances that, you know, maybe me as a white person and my friend as a black person have come across, and how we might have been treated differently. Certainly in my position in the arts, I want to try and make change from like a roots level up, so that just that there are more opportunities for everybody to use creativity as an outlet, because I just think creativity and the arts in general are so important for not only physical health, but mental health and expression. And that should be available to everybody, no matter what the color of anybody's skin is. And I know that it's possibly a movement that has been more highlighted because everybody has been in lockdown, but it's been a movement, and a problem for far too long, and everybody can do if everybody makes a small bit of change, like I said, whether that is educating, whether that is just opening their arms out wider than where they were before, then it will start to make steps for change, I feel.
Carrie, thank you so much. Please do look after yourself. Enjoy the evening. Thank you for taking
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Well, we've raised even more money during that, so thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, stay in touch. Bye-bye. Oh, that was the lovely Carrie-Anne, everyone. How absolutely lovely. I think that was the end of the 6th train that we've been on today, and oh my goodness, we've had flavors of the entire world. Very, very happy there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on £750. £750, and it's all going towards the Dash charity. Yes, we're going to keep on supporting the victims of domestic abuse to allow everyone to move forwards and have a stronger future for themselves. Link just here. Going to keep on going on about that. I'm just going to quickly crack open the second alcoholic beverage just to quickly celebrate, and also to try and keep myself sane, because we have, what time is it? 9 o'clock. We have 2 hours remaining, and to take us into the next half hour, we have Poetry World UK, Awesome Fan, and Chanel Mckenzie. Mentioned about them earlier, and they're the founders of Poetry World UK. They are here to shed more light on the programme and here to share some amazing work. So here they come now. Hello, Autumn, and hello, Chanel. How are you doing?
Hi. Hey, Bailey. Yeah, really good, thank you. How are you doing? How's the day been?
Yeah, it's been really good. I can't believe how much money we've raised. I'm not going to lie to you. And I went £100, 250. I went, oh God, whatever. Anyways, enough about that. More about you ladies, gorgeous ladies. Oh my goodness, thank you for coming on here. Right, so before we even start and ask more questions, can we quickly talk about Poetry World UK? What's it about? What's been happening? Go ahead. Cheers.
So it's an initiative that we decided to set up. Originally, we wanted to be able to get people to share and write their own, perform their own poetry or spoken word or any sort of piece of writing, really. And we wanted it to be about social issues that are going on at the moment and will be going on and have been going on. And we just want people to be able to speak out about these things and just share the love, really.
Yeah, we created the scheme, but before that we'd created the account, and we were thinking about, what issues are happening in the world right now that we want to talk about and encourage people to write and create their own poetry or spoken word. And then it was literally a week later that we'd watched that horrific video of George Floyd, and we were like, it's time to kind of speak up now. And Black Lives Matter movement has been going for so many years, and it's time to get people to write. And as we know so many actors and artists, and we just thought it would be a perfect time to raise awareness, to donate to the Black Lives Matter pages and companies, and support British artists. And yeah, so we created the scheme, and it's the first thing that we created, and it got a lot of traction, it got a lot of shares, it got a lot of support. And yeah, we're really proud of it, and we're really proud of all the people that entered, because they really their entries were so raw and honest. And yeah, it was great to see, but we want to continue with the process and keep the movement going. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, kudos and hats off to you guys, because it has been a lot of reception has been received as discussed. And for you guys, I know we'll be sharing some work today. Is it all right if we share one piece before we carry on the conversation? Because I know we've got a lovely about 25 minutes with you guys.
Yeah, I think we have Jess here.
Yeah, I see her in the backstage. Let's get her in. Yes, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Bailey?
Yeah, no, not bad. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. Actually, ladies, I'm going to shut up. You can, all yours. It's your thing.
Cool. So I'm just going to go straight into it. All right. Also, I've got a fan on. Is it too much noise?
No, that's fine. Can hear you. Can hear you perfectly. Cool. Get rid of us, and then it's all yours on the screen. Take it away whenever you're ready. All right, Jess?
It's all coming to a head. Looking back on what you said, are you looking to back what you said? It's all part of the plan. COVID got lost, and all of a sudden, Kate, Jerry, and Madeleine McCann are back in the picture. Nah, mate. It's in the scripture. Ephesians 6:12 states, our struggle is not against the flesh, the people. It's against the authorities, the rulers, and the powers of this dark world and the spiritual forces of evil. Quote, unquote. So, are you going to stand by what you wrote? Are you really about it, or are you just backing for the clout bit? We need warriors, not worriers, worried about what your mum thinks, about what your friends think. We need soldiers that are ready to fight the demons that are trying to run things, because we run things. Things don't run we. You use your knees to get down and pray, not to take someone's life away. Floyd's murderer, as he kneels on his neck, you can see it in his eyes, not a fleck of remorse. He's trying to take George's life, not a speck of remorse. Like a magnetic force that's been drawn to George's neck, a spiritual force, like I said just a sec ago. Excessive force, and what for? Because he used a fake 20 to buy cigarettes from the store. We were all born with that voice knocking at the back door, that choice. Should I crack her jaw or should I just ignore her? Some voices are louder than others, but they're all heard. No human can crush someone's windpipe whilst being recorded in broad daylight for 7 minutes. That is a demonic spirit. And I'm just giving it to you straight, because when those floodgates open, the war is on. And this war is not for the weak-minded. It's one-sided. You're on one side of the fence, and your only defense is the sword of the spirit. Read a few verses down from the scripture I quoted a minute ago. So, are you going to join us on the front line, or do you politely decline my invitation? Because I hop on the timeline and I see the word racist. I see the world racist. I see our kind racing against time to stop these racists, because more time, black lives only matter when someone dies. Black lives only matter when there's black mothers crying, when there's black brothers dying, even though they're complying, family dying, even though they're supplying our music, Sims, Wretch, Manga, and our films, Zatisha, Lashana, Boyega. So, are you backing the beef, or are you just keeping it brief? Because on Tuesday, you're posting your black squares, but then on Wednesday, you're hopping out of the lift to take the stairs. Make your decision with precision. You're either with us or you're opposition. And do you know what happens to ops in your position when your opposition is in God's division? Check the Bible, for it is written. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. Truly, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, Jess. All right, you look after yourself. All right, thank you.
You too. Well done
Thank
for this,
you so much.
Bailey.
Thank
Props
you.
to you. Take care.
Bye. Bye. Oh wow, that was amazing, wasn't it? And you've had loads of submissions like that, haven't you?
Yeah, we really have. We really have had some great submissions, and that was just a prime example of somebody that's so talented, and it's just so touching as well, so raw. So yeah, you know, it's been really, really, really great to see so much talent and so many people that
want to
are speaking out about the injustice that's going on right now. So yeah,
the feedback of it. Obviously, you guys started this just as a little thing, something from passion, something that you saw, like thinking about Industry Minds earlier, starting with a singular idea where you thought this is needed, no matter what. Doesn't matter how many people it touches, it will touch certain people. You've been able to develop it not even with you just pushing any pressure. It's just unraveled into this something. And even though, you know, times are hard at the moment, just looking at what you guys have done, what you guys have supplied, what's the sensation been like that of just seeing that, you know, we have done something good. What Autumn and Chanel and Autumn have done is very, very special.
Yeah, I agree, but I think, yeah, we did it just because we wanted to hear people's work and to get people to speak out about things. And it wasn't, I don't think at any point we thought this could be something really great for us. We just wanted to share and create something together as a community. And I think that's happened, and it's a really lovely thing.
And we need to keep the movement going as well. I mean, this is just one thing that we've done, you know, and it's not even a drop in the ocean of possibilities and opportunities, because times, I believe, I'm optimistic, you know, are changing right now, and people are starting to listen and people are starting to speak out. And this is just like the beginning, really, of a small thing that happened, but so much more to be done. Like, there's endless amount of things to be done for the Black Lives Matter movement. So we'll be brainstorming like other ideas, other initiatives, other ways we can get more people to speak out, and to kind of change the structures of the systemic racism all over the world. And I think it might not be the biggest of steps right now, but I think every little contribution is kind of, every entry that we've had is a step in people speaking out and changing the way that they think about, you know, the climate of the world and how we can like make a difference. So yeah,
I think that one thing we've learned definitely is that it's such a hard subject for people to speak out about, and I know that I would really like to be able to change that, or at least start a change and just get people to speak, and because that's the only way that I think change will happen. Yeah, so we just want to be able to hear everyone's voices.
I am a greedy soul. I was just wondering, is there any more poems that we could maybe possibly hear? Well, if not, don't worry, because I do push the boat sometimes. Sorry, it's just I completely love.
I have written a little something. It's about a minute's worth. If you wanna hear something that I've written.
Yeah, if that's all right, yes, please.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Cool. You ready? George Floyd, one of the many lives killed down to racism. Video of racial hatred and murder so disgusting it makes us want to run and hide. For years, people have said nothing to protect their hatred and their pride. Enough. 400 years of this. People can't be dying for the colour of their skin, suffering endlessly, a history of racism, violence, deaths, rapes, lives lost. This is a sin. No air in their lungs, pulling our lungs out of the air to win. Most of the time, I'm stifled in what to say. Many videos of Black lives on the floor, people around them as they lay. Many times will people have to go to church for lives and pray. Enough of the social media outcry for a week or two. A retweet on socials will no longer do. I can't find the words, something a lot of people say. Well, buckle up and get brave and make the leap today. Don't say what you want us to hear. Tell us how you're going to change and make it clear. On a day when you're thriving and something racist is said, don't turn a blind eye, but maybe turn ahead. The oppressors that oppress and cause depression. We will no longer stay silent in succession. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. And I must say, beautiful writing as well. You wrote that, didn't you? You wrote that. God, grammars going all over the place at the moment. But yeah, just actually thinking about it, I was thinking whilst that you're starting to collaborate with other people, though, aren't you? Outside of all of this, obviously you're connecting with different people, but you're in talks with other people. They've been getting in touch with you. And with that, like, you know, you're talking about being a small, you know, a small dip in the pond at the moment, but really, in many respects, people are loving what you're doing and the spirit in which you're awakening everything that's going on. So in many respects, how has that sensation been? That way.
I think, well, a lot of great companies have followed us, and a lot of great influencers and people have followed us and messaged us and got on board. And we're in talks with a radio and a podcast company called Spamalot Productions, and we're trying to create something as an ensemble piece, kind of unify everyone and talk about this topic, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, what it's shown us, I think Autumn can agree, like, we've worked really well as a team, and it's shown us that, like, you have to reach out and you have to speak. You have to put yourself out there in order for these things to happen. And it can be really tough in getting people to get on board, but you have to kind of put your all into something and don't expect things to come to you, because the harder you work, the more results, the more people we reached out to, the more people that reached out to us. And it's just great to have, like, the support that we've had from so many people, rightly so, because the issue is so prevalent right now. But yeah, like, a few people have reached out to us, a few companies, because ultimately there are a lot of artists that love to write and that love to write poetry. And it's a way to express yourself and also raise awareness about, like, social deprivation and globally the issues that we're facing in the world. You know, there are a lot of minorities that need to be spoken about and need to have a voice because they haven't got a voice themselves. And it is just an example of years of, you know, racism and being a minority. So yeah, like, getting on board it's been great. We've had great support from people.
Well, just quickly, sorry, I think I'm about to sneeze. No, I'm okay. No, we'll see. I'll probably sneeze in a minute. I have to mute myself. But, just quickly, from the both of you, and thank you so much for giving the time, especially at this time of the night, to share your time with us. Just giving a message to whoever that may be. It doesn't have to do it. It could be to do with obviously your project. It could be to do something else, but just to give people a bit more hope, a bit more, it shines some more light on this subject, any subject. Just give them awaken their spirit, as it were. Yeah.
I think that if there was something that I would want people to take away from this whole situation and what we've started and what it's all about, is that you should be speaking up, and that you should want to speak and create and share and spread love and awareness, and don't hate people, because there's just no need for it. Yeah, I really want people to be able to just create whatever they feel like, whether they think it's good or bad or whatever. It's never bad. It's always good. Whatever you're saying, obviously, as long as it's within a nice situation. But do you know what I mean? Just spread love and spread awareness. That's what I think I'd like people to take away from this whole thing.
Yeah, and I think, adding on to what Autumn said, if you're an actor and if you're an artist, it's more important ever now than to educate yourself about issues socially, politically, because they affect us all. And there's a lovely saying that we've used quite a lot, and it's make your art into justice. And that, I think, is really prevalent right now. Create something, write something, follow Poetry World, submit something, because we have an audience that want to see it, and we have people that we're fighting for, and it's just a wonderful thing to see people passionate and creating their own material.
And it's just another way to speak out, like creating art. There's no right or wrong way of speaking out against something. And I think that being an artist is an incredible way to be able to spread awareness. And I think that people should use their talents and use their abilities to the best. And yeah, I just think use what you've been given and spread the awareness of all these minority groups that, like Chanel said before, don't have the voice to be able to speak out. So yeah, I think we should all be using our art to spread love.
So, ladies, thank you so much for coming in. It's been an utmost pleasure. Thank you for coming to Take It to the Lounge, the Boxer Volume 2. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, and definitely be in touch. Exciting work coming from you too. Thank you so much. Take care.
So
Thank you, Bailey. Thanks
you.
for all you've done.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Right, everyone. That was co-founders of Poetry World UK, Autumn Fenn and Chanel Mckenzie. How amazing are they? They're so lovely ladies, and still we're around the 6,000 mark tuning in on here, and then people coming and going on this YouTube. Going to quickly check of where we're at. I think we're still at £750 for the Dash charity. Guys, if we can get an extra 50 quid, an extra £50 to get to £800, I really like. I don't like the 50s number. 750 doesn't sound. You know, £800 sounds good. You know what even sounds better? £1,000. But don't worry, every penny that you guys have been giving, has been absolutely sensational. Really touched my heart. I can't believe we surpassed the money that I wanted to raise for this charity. The Dash charity was supporting victims of domestic abuse, and we're allowing families to move on with their futures. So exciting. I'm going to quickly do the blinds, and then because it's getting dark and you probably will see a ghost or another featured role from my mum, nan, dog, whatever. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, what a show we've had so far. Directors of Peaky Blinders, Favourite Boxers, Mr. Selfridge, Line of Duty, everything that you love on the TV. We've talked to them today. We've talked to the heart of the West End. We've talked to people we've talked to chart-topping guys, chart-topping artists, and we're going to hit them again right now. Vicky Mance's #1 country #1 hit right now on all platforms is available. Pick Me Up. Oh my goodness, absolute talent. We're going to go to even more talents because the next half hour, well, do you know what? I'm just losing my mind. But anyways, enough about me rambling. We've got 4 minutes until we were going to go to the next segment, but who cares? We're going to start a little bit early because I am greedy. And yes, we started 5 minutes early at the beginning of this, and we've got we've only used one of those minutes. And oh my goodness, we are doing very, very well. Just before we move on and we say hello to Clayton, please, if you can, please, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could donate to this. It's in the YouTube thing here. It's on the past ones as well that we've done and has been recorded is on YouTube. If you could donate to this Just Giving page, it would mean the world. 50 pence, 60 pence, £1, anything would mean the world. Even you guys tuning in on the server, the thousands are here, and then there's only 5 at the moment. It's probably because I'm ugly and I'm just rambling on, but we'll increase those numbers and keep going in and out on this. But absolutely sensational. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep that there just for a second whilst I announce Clayton. But yeah, we heard from Clayton Bryant earlier this month, but now he is back. But he's here to perform. And oh my goodness, if it's okay, Clayton, is it okay if we if we can rock and roll with a song before we grab a chat? I just see you backstage at the moment. Is that okay? Amazing, awesome. Well, Clayton, whenever you're ready, let's go hit it and let's grab a chat. Great to see you.
All right, good to see you. All right, let's try this. I've been dealing with sound stuff all day. So we're going to see. Like, give me the thumbs up or thumbs down if you need me to turn the volume up.
I will. I'll stay here for a second and then I'll go away.
All right, here we go. If I stop breathing, will you be my lungs? Lost my sight, but see your heartbeat so strong. Press your lips to mine. Let's both lose control. Look into my eyes, connect with my soul. Now I'll ask you this once, will you care? 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 If I died tomorrow, hold me in your arms. Resurrect my body with love's favorite song. I know this is heavy, but yes, you can deal. If you say you're not ready, the heart may not heal. So now I'll ask you again, will you care? 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 Drowned in the rain, slept through the pain of watching love come and go. Now and again, I cry out in vain because I'm just not. I'm just not sure. Just not sure. But I need you to tell me. Please say yes. Please say yes. I need to know, will you care? Please say yes. Please say yes. Will you care? Oh, baby, please say yes. Please say yes. I need to know, will you care? Please say yes. Please say yes. Oh, will you care? 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 Will you care?
Hey, come on, that was amazing! Oh my god, this is what we've been waiting for. Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's given me so much life. I've literally, I've been on my wits' length ends at the moment, and oh my goodness, absolutely sensational. Thank you so much for that. Clayton, how are you doing at the moment? What's been happening?
Recording, stuck in the house, just recording. A lot.
Yeah, last time we were here, we were talking about your process and writing and how you've worked. Chat's going off on here, yes, on YouTube, but also on the server. It's satellite now. You've reawakened everyone who's near falling asleep. They're now back awake, and they've just had the shot of caffeine they all needed. Take us to the 11 to the end of the show. But yes, with that particular song, why kick off with that particular song, may I ask?
Well, you know, I wrote that song in Russia. I was in Russia in a dark hotel room in Moscow. The power went out, and I had no internet, no anything. So I just started thinking about the state of humanity, so to speak. And then, you know, fast forward maybe about 5 years later, it's so prevalent to what's going on right now, you know?
Yeah. And I'm so sorry. The one thing that I've just got ingrained in my mind, and I have to ask it because I keep saying it, I am greedy. Do you have any more songs available to perform today? And if so, how many do you have? Because I completely, oh my goodness, listen to your music anyway via YouTube. Likewise with Ramon, who's after you, but I'm just hooked, and I'm so greedy, and I just need this energy. Do you have any more songs, please, or we can put this on repeat, which you've just done?
Yeah, I have. Ramon kind of gave me the rundown, so I have 2 more songs.
Yeah.
Can I shout out some of my people real quick?
Yeah, come on, shout out your people. Go on.
I got Carmen watching. I got David watching. I got Tawera watching. They're all amazing singers. They're a part of my village. Rosalind Hunter is watching. I love Roz. She said, "Wild horses, please."
Oh my goodness! Well, amazing. Is it okay if we grab one more song, then grab a chat, and then to finish, we'll do another song? Is that all right?
This one is actually, I do this song a lot at the Sugar Bar in New York City. It's a staple. It's a Stevie Wonder song, and it's become a staple of mine to perform all the time. So it's called "Don't Know Why I Love You."
Amazing. Well, Clayton, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why I love you. I don't know why I love you, baby. I don't know why I love you, but I love you. Always treats me like a fool. She kicks me when I'm down, that's a rule. I don't know why I love you, but I love you. I don't know why I love you. I don't know. You and me, baby, oh. I don't know why I love you, but I love you, baby. I really love you, baby, yeah. You turned my heart down in the dirt, and oh, you made me crawl on this cold black earth. I don't know why I love you, baby, but I love you, baby, yeah. Oh, you never stop your cheating ways. With some other guy, you laugh in my face. Lord, how long must I be disgraced? 'Cause I loved you. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I love you. I don't know. You and me, baby, oh. I don't know why I love you, but I love you, baby, 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 yeah. I don't know why I love you. I don't know. You and me, baby, oh. I don't know why I love you, but I love you. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, baby. I love you, baby. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, baby. I don't know why I love you, but I love you, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Woo! Okay, everyone's having a party here. Seeing it down here backstage. People are going up, seeing it on the server. Oh my goodness, amazing. Woo!
Yeah.
A bit of a party groove, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we rock it out. It's a great. I love the Stevie Wonder record, and I love when we do it live, the intro is slow, and then we go into the rock and roll part of it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And just very quickly, if I quickly ask, because obviously you said Ramon gave you the rundown. Yeah. Obviously, when I love someone, I've got to make them do not 2, 3 songs.
We're doing 3. We're doing 3.
No. But how do you guys know each other? We were talking about collaborators last time, but how have you ended up connecting with the likes of Ramon?
Well, we're family. Ramon is not only a performer, a constant performer at the Sugar Bar, he's also one of our many co-hosts. He hosts the open mic on Thursdays. So he's one of our designated hosts.
Oh, I just love it, and it's just all by chance. Oh look, here we go, always coming in. Yeah, love the t-shirt. Yeah, I love the t-shirt as well. We've got to get another song. Look, we've got to get you singing. But just beforehand, obviously, the whole point of this show as well today is just to bring a bit more lightness into people's lives in a way, and obviously supporting people who face domestic abuse. And guys, please, if you can, those that are tuning in on here and those who are still on the server, I'll click it here for the YouTube because it's pinned on the server. But if you can donate to the Just Giving page, even if it's just £1 or something, $1, whatever. I know we're in the USA segment right now. It would mean the action.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, you'd really help people who are facing a lot of difficulty, domestic abuse, and allowing them to have a future. So please, if you can, it would mean the absolute world. But yes, Clayton, just to bring some lightness, just final few words as it were before we hit the last song. Woo! Oh my goodness, I can't wait. What can you say just to give people, I don't know, a bit, give them a bit of a party and just keep their spirit going?
Get lost in the music. Music is such a powerful spiritual energy. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have music in my life. I don't know where I would be. I don't even know if I'd be here without music. So, keep the music. A lot of people have their favorite artists, but I say branch out, search, for artists like The Village that I talked about, Ramon, myself. It's a lot of great music out there. It really is. And if you really just start searching for it and looking for it, it does so much for the soul. It does so much for the soul.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. To finish us off, what will you be singing for us?
I'm going to do one of a crowd favorite of mine, which is Wild Horses, not the Rolling Stones Wild Horses, but my own song, Wild Horses. But I'm going to do the acoustic version.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, whenever you're ready, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Everyone, it has been the performer that is Clayton Bryant. Take it away.
Really, thank you. Oh, we're having a little technical difficulties. Hold on, y'all. Where can you get the shirt? DM me at Clayton Bryant Sings on Instagram, and I'll tell you how to get the shirt. Come on.
God, you're teasing us right now.
Yes, there we go. In the night, burning bright, there's a light pulling through. I believe we share our dreams, linked by love of the two. When we run, keep your eyes open, try to keep pace. The world is watching. Small setback. If you run off track, you're still in the race. Don't you worry. We're wild horses, roaming free, you and me. We're wild horses, roaming free to the sea. Catch us if you can. Oh, 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 oh. Let's catch our breath. Baby steps looking back. No regrets. We won't get lost. Stay on course. Destiny is foreseen. When we run, keep your eyes open. Try to keep the pace. The world is watching. Small setback. If you run off track, you're still in the race. Don't you worry. We're wild horses, roaming free, you and me. We're wild horses, roaming free to the sea. Catch us if you can. Keep on reaching till you get on top. It's yours for the taking. There's no end to what you want. Don't stop. Charging, moving, wild horses run free. Oh yeah. Wild horses, free, so free, yeah. Wild horses, free, so free. We're wild horses, roaming free, you and me. We're wild horses, roaming free, so free. Catch us if you can.
Oh my goodness, there's a blubbering wreck throughout that. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Truly special. Thank you so much, Clayton, and hopefully have you again sometime soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Look after yourself, all right? Much love.
Safe. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thanks, man. Talk soon. Oh my goodness, that was a sensational Clayton Bryant, everyone. Oh my goodness. I need to get my act together, so I think we should just quickly go and hit a song with the amazing, just as sensational Ramon Jackson. He is DNA of Drink the Ink, Take It to the Lounge. He's the party, he's the soul, he's the spirit. He's going to help us hammer it home into the next final hour of the show. It's great to have him back. Please, 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 Ramon, let's hit a song and let's get this party going.
Introducing our hit remix of R&B singer-songwriter Ramon Jackson, Elevator. Take it away.
Just rock side to side, yeah. Happy Saturday, y'all. It's okay to rock side to side, side to side. Bailey Harris, Kelly, what's up, bro? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Gonna take y'all through the levels of ecstasy. I see you, Tuera. Do-do-do-ah, baby. Come with me and you'll see there are infinite possibilities with me, yeah. Take my hand and you'll see just how far we gonna elevate in ecstasy, yeah. I could tell you that if these two hands were to touch your body, they would leave you yearning for me. Yeah. I could tell you that if these lips were to touch your lips, they would have you quivering to your knees. I would say that if we made love, you would search for me coast to coast for some more, but I won't, babe. Just come with me and you'll see there are infinite possibilities with me, yeah. Take my hand and you'll see just how far we gonna elevate in ecstasy, yeah. Y'all remember songs like that? Well, download this one. The moment I gain what I want, it's the moment you get what you need. Let's elevate all your senses for the moment. Let go and let me take the lead. I'll dedicate all my energy to provide your every desire and to show you some things I dream. Ooh, babe. Hey, so come on, take this ride with me. We can dance fast so you can grind on me. I prefer to start slow, set your body free. No need to blow smoke, just get high on me. Come with me and you'll see there are infinite possibilities with me, babe. Take my hand and you'll see just how far we gonna elevate in ecstasy, babe. I can see it from the love we're making. Now I'm getting elevated. Treasure you. I'm sweet on you. Now let me return the favor and be your elevator. Ooh, babe, treasure you. I'm sweet on you. So come on, take this ride with me. We can dance fast so you can grind on me. I prefer to stop slow, set your body free. No need to blow smoke, just get high on me. Come on with me, and you'll see there are infinite possibilities with me, babe. Take my hand and you'll see just how far we gonna elevate in ecstasy, babe. Air guitar, right here, let's go. Woo! That feel good to y'all. It feels good to me. Hey, backgrounds, what y'all got? That's my song, Elevator, y'all. Please make sure you check it out. It's available on all digital platforms. Featuring Harris Kelly on the beginning there.
Oh my God, what a way to start it. Oh my goodness, Ramon, right. Oh my God, you're the party, you're the soul, you're the spirit. What has been happening, bro?
Man, you know, Working on new music. Clayton and I actually co-wrote a song called Contagious that I'm recording here. And I'm going to be dropping that this summer. And I'm working on a song with you that I'm super excited about. Yeah. Not going to divulge the details yet, but it's going to be a banger. And I appreciate you for reaching out. And yeah, your spoken word piece is going to really hit hard. I love it.
Yeah, no, thanks, Romain. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Oh, your songs are second to none. They really are. Everyone was getting a boogie, but, you know, they are so lustful that it gets a bit, you know, hot and steamy. I heard everyone screaming outside at the moment. For God's sake, be quiet. I'm trying to enjoy the song.
That's hysterical. You know, I did a show in London in January at Sessions 58. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but Nate James and Lana Lorraine host that. And I opened with Elevator because it's the fan favorite from my first album. And everyone was quiet all night because it's like an artist showcase. Everyone was quiet all night, and then everyone's like, "Woo!" swooning and stuff. Because I'm a Pisces. I'm a highly sexual individual, so my music is very sexually charged. That's what goes on in my head. I can't help it. All my music's about heartache or love or, you know, inspiration. You know, so I can't help it. That's just who I am.
Yeah, well, digging deep and showing it more. I know. Have you got another 2 songs going as well? Because I know you gave the download to Clayton. Is there any chance that we could get 2 songs?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'll do a couple of new ones that I haven't done off the album yet.
Oh, okay, awesome. Well, Ramon, whenever you're ready, let's hit it.
All right, let's go. This one's called Silver Tongue. It's the title track. That's right, Clayton Bryant's a Pisces too. That's my bro. Everybody get ready to dance. Eyes, brown eyes, a face that melts the soul. When you laugh or smile, your face gives off a glow. Your sounds of hello, it keeps me wanting more. How I vision you and me, whenever you speak, bass in me. You got the conversation that leads me to inspiration. It's in the way your lips move whenever you talk. You got a way of making me do what you want. You got the silver tongue. Hey. The melodies in your voice turns me on. And the way that you sound when you moan, I replay for more. I cannot deny that I love making love to you. Hey. How I vision you and me, whenever you speak, bass in me. Your voice tends to make me weak when you whisper indeed what you want from me. You got the conversation that leads me to inspiration. It's in the way your lips move whenever you talk. You got a way of making me do what you want. You got a silver tongue. Just rock. Hey, just rock. Hey, just rock. Hey. You got the conversation that leads me to inspiration. Nice brown eyes, a face that melts the soul. When you laugh or smile, your face gives off a glow. And your sounds of hello, it keeps me wanting more. Your voice tends to make me weep when you whisper indeed what you want from me. You got the conversation that leads me to inspiration. It's in the way your lips move whenever you talk. You got a way of making me do what you want. You got the silver tongue that leads me to inspiration. It's in the way your lips move whenever you talk. You got a way of making me do what you want. You got the silver tongue. Hey, hey, yeah. We're gonna keep it dancing. I got another up-tempo. It's the opening to the album right here. It's called All Out. It's Saturday night. Get on your feet and let's go. Hey. Hip hoppers.
Going all out with Ramon Jack. Let the pop rock as he bring it on back to the dance floor with another one. DJ, let this motherfucker play.
Let it run.
Come on, if you ready, come on. What's I deal? Link up with the Ramon. We going all out. We about to fall out. We can't deal better leave it alone.
I've been sitting here long enough. I gotta relieve some stress. Feel like I know something good is waiting if I follow my yellow brick happiness light. Let's get away from here. Hey, I had it up to here. Let's rock. I'm ready to go. Had some good boy in me now. Couple drinks, I'm tipsy going. Only one way to do it, that's go. Hey, and you could do it with me. It's 5, 4, 3, and 2. Got me ready to move. Feel like I know you feel it too. What you trying to do? Let's be like ha, 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 ha. Let's get away from here. Woo! Let's rock. I had it up to here. Oh. Hey. Had some good boy in me now. Couple drinks, I'm tipsy going. Woo! Only one way to do it, that's go. Let's go, y'all. Get up and dance. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! I gotta make a dance up to this right here. Woo! I'm ready to go. Woo! Had some good boy in me now. Couple drinks, I'm tipsy going. Only one way to do it, that's go. Hey, and you can do it with me. MC Sadir. I love y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Ramon, thank you so much. Thank you for doing it all out with us for the past 15-ish minutes. It's been absolutely sensational. Thank you for coming back yet again. It wouldn't be the same without
Thank you for having me, man. I love doing it.
Thanks, man. Be in touch very soon. And thank you so much. Look after you. Right? And guys, everyone, please see you, Ramon. Look after yourself. If you can, we are £50 away from getting £800. And if we could get that by the end of the evening, I'm really happy by everything that we've got. But with the cause that we're fighting for at the moment, with the Dash charities to support victims of domestic violence, men, women, children, it will allow them to have a brighter, a better future. The reception to this whole show has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. It's been all so quick trying to form this all together. But the people that we've had on here has been absolutely extraordinary, from an array of backgrounds, from top film, TV series, films that we've seen, our most loved box sets, to West End's finest, Broadway, USA, drama school segments, you name it, we've had it here today. From one joyful person, we now go to two, because I'm greedy. I want two people who will give us joy. It's Alan Hawke and David McIntosh. They're back, and last time we saw them, they put James Corden's Carpool Karaoke to shame. This time, it's time to delve into the world of them a little bit more and slow things down. And they're here right now. Hello, David, and hello, Alan.
Hi.
Hey. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, really good. How are you?
Fantastic. Really good to see you guys again. And yeah, how are you guys doing at the moment? Have you been enjoying the weather? Has it been sunny down your end today?
Yeah, it was good up here today. We're up in Scotland with some family, so yeah, we got out and about today, enjoyed the sun. Yeah, good.
Lovely. And like unwinding as well. What have you been doing really to just try and take pleasure and make the most of everything during this time?
I think it's been, for both of us, we've had the luxury of spending a lot of time with family, and we've bounced between David's family up in Scotland and my family down in Wales. And it's interesting because actually in our job, quite often we don't get the pleasure of being able to take extended time with our family, because if you're working away, and if you're not, you need to be available to pop back to London to audition and things like that. So you end up kind of that quality family time is sacrificed. And it's especially nice up here because David's got a young niece and nephew who are here with us, and it's a luxury, isn't it, for you to be able to actually spend a lot of time and seeing them every day and
be terrorized.
Like with you guys, we've had the pleasure throughout the sessions that we've had with you. We've really got to know you guys as artists, and we've seen you guys perform, and it's been so joyful. And with you guys, how's it been just spending more time with each other? Because obviously you did Berlin with each other.
Yeah, we did, and the jobs before, we actually managed to spend a lot of time together as well, because we've been nearby. But it's been interesting, and it's been a really nice chance to just have quality time and stuff together. But now we are sort of itching to get back to being creative and getting back to it. It's now.
It's interesting, even though that in this downtime, because we are both doing our own things to try and stay like productive and creative, it's funny because I think we're learning much more about each other as people and as creatives and as artists. Like we're seeing a very different side to sort of, rather than when we were in a show together, you're doing someone else's creative work and just happen to be on the same stage as each other, whereas now we're both sort of tackling this time off in just our own individual way, and it's been really interesting kind of, and conversations it started with us about the industry and what we want to do and what our approach to those things are. And it's been really nice, isn't it? To sort of
that side of it's been really nice, and on the other side of it, it's that itch to get back to being with other people. Not trapped in your own bubble, which is great. Is great, but it's just really missing that connection in a creative space with other people. Is like you totally take it for granted. I was watching some clips, like I was watching some clips of Stephen Mears' choreography the other day and of Nick Winston's choreography, and I was just like, I could have cried watching it. I was like, I cannot wait to be back on a stage with other people and just going absolute balls to the wall and just giving everything you've got. It's just there is only so much you can do on your own, which is great. I don't want to be the voice of doom and gloom, but it is now like please let us get back, because it's tough to when it's your life force is doing what you do. Like it's really hard for everyone in this industry, I know, to like separate the personal from the creative, because it is just what we do, what we think about all day long, every single day. Everything links back to what we do, and we're both itching now, aren't we, to just we walked around Glasgow today, and we walked past a few theatres, and we walked past the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland, and I was like, I just can't wait for these buildings to have people in them again. I'm just it's coming, but it's it's taking time, but we're trying to we're getting each other through, and we're when Alan has a down day, I pick him up, and when I have a down day, he picks me up, and we just keep sort of flowing that energy back and forward, don't we?
It's lovely. You guys are so strong with each other. Just thinking about that personal, like the relationship. Obviously, you guys did a show with each other, but when you have, when you're going to do, ultimately, when you do more shows with it, separate from each other, how like for you guys, how do you make that like relationship work? Because at the moment, obviously, we have the luxury of time, but how can you find that balance? Because obviously, you're appreciating each other more and more through the different creative paths that you want to take.
I think what we did really well when we did work apart was just to let each other get on with it. In a sense, we just didn't put that pressure on the other person. I felt we did that really good of needing. I was doing Cats last summer, and Alan was doing Oklahoma at Chichester, and throughout the week we would talk, we would FaceTime, we would talk, but we would just allow each other to go and be in your bubble, go and have your fun on your job, and immerse yourself into that, and then we were really good at we had separate days off. I think you were off on a Sunday and I was off on a Monday, so Alan would travel up to Kilworth throughout the night on a Saturday night, like crazy journey, and would arrive at like 3 o'clock in the morning Sunday morning, and then I would get up and do 2 shows because it was a 4-show weekend, and then we would drive to Chichester the Sunday night, and then we would spend what we had of the day off together, and then Alan would go to work. But that's, I think,
because you didn't have to leave until Tuesday sort of afternoon to get back, so we sort of just effectively, I think, and like David said, the nice thing was that there was never an expectation or a pressure to have to call or text or see each other. It was just, we did what felt like the right thing to do, and I think following that was the best thing for us, really. But then, like we've talked about, obviously we had the luxury of working together. We would have been working together again now, but we know full well that isn't going to be the norm for the rest of our lives, because otherwise we would both end up sacrificing what we want to do because for the sake of working together. So we know full well, like, that is the reality of not just like a theatre life, it's a reality of everyone's lives. Not many people spend 24 hours a day together, so actually we're not sort of nervous or scared about that time either. I think we just take it and adjust when the time happens then.
Yeah. You guys, yeah, it's sad because keep nearly running out of time with this section, but you know, I can't get enough of you guys. You guys are complete shining stars. I love you to pieces. Just you know, keeping a smile on people's faces. And probably everyone's sick of my voice, so I'm going to try and keep my words to a bare minimum. Oh God, it's been a long day, but like just to put a smile on someone's face, even just you know, even if someone's about to fall asleep right now, the people who are listening on the server or those coming in and out on the YouTube. And I'm still so grateful to everyone who has tuned in, but just put a smile on the face, whether that's just going to sleep right now, so then wake up Sunday morning feeling, you know, a bit, you know, have a bit more strength. What can you say just to really inspire those that are aspiring right now to find some hope, to find some strength within themselves?
Do you know what I found a really nice quote that really helped me last night. I can't remember off the top of my head who said it, but the quote says, the entire ocean cannot sink a ship unless it gets inside the ship. And likewise with us, negativity, all the negativity in the world cannot affect you unless you let it inside you. And that really helped me, because I think it is such a hard time that we're all sort of feeling really doom and gloom about the theatre industry, and life in general seems so upside down and so different. And even we were talking about bloody climate change and stuff seems to be on the back burner because we're all thinking about this. David Attenborough t-shirt would do us proud. But I just think you have to bear in mind that unless, as long as you keep yourself positive in whatever way that is, and even if that's being productive, or if it's doing workouts, or even if it's taking a day off to just sit and do nothing, or just read a book, or do that one thing that you've been meaning to do for ages that seems pointless but isn't, because it's what you want to do in your heart, then maintaining that positivity in you means that it's going to be a lot harder for the negativity everywhere to sink in to you.
Yeah. I like what RuPaul says, but I'll misquote him. But it's like, it's about just keep working, don't stay idle. Keep yourself going somehow, because that's how you keep on running. Don't let the demons catch up.
Yeah.
Just keep working, keep moving. Don't stay stagnant. Just keep moving forward. Yeah,
guys, thank you.
Watch Drag Race.
Yeah, we talking about that earlier, and we ended up. Kevin Yates, we ended up talking about Pokemon, and we talked about acting through a Pokemon analogy. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Yes, guys, please do look after yourself. I'm sure I'll see you soon. I love you to pieces. Stay in touch, all right?
Lots of love.
Okay.
Guys,
bye.
Bye. Right, okay, that was the lovely David and Alan, everyone. Oh my goodness. Treasures they are. Guys, again, we've got about 45 minutes left to go, and we are, let's see if we still budge. Still, the £750 is incredible. If you can donate, and if we can try and get even closer to £800, that'd be amazing. But it does not matter, because what a day it has been. People tuning in left, right and centre. Link just here for the Just Giving page. I've literally, I feel so numb and stiff. It's not even funny. I'm probably going to go for a walk for the first time properly tomorrow in 14 weeks or whatever it's been. Yeah, oh my goodness. What a show it has been, but we've still got so many stars left with the 45 minutes remaining. And one of those stars is actress, singer, queen, Melinda Paris. She joins us now. And this art form is not abnormal to her. She's been doing this in this industry since the age of 13. What a career she's had thus far. Melinda, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you, Bailey? How are you, Bailey? I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm all right. You know, saying hello and welcome to Drink the Ingrouille.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. How are you doing? How are you doing at the moment?
I'm okay. It's been a bit of a funny time. I mean, it was funny enough anyway with Miss Rona, and then with everything that's happened with the whole Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, then that was another dimension of it. And then this week, actually finding out that I'm not going to be able to be back in the show in Mary Poppins until 2021 has added yet another dimension to how I'm feeling. So this week has been a bit weird, to be honest, but I feel better now. I feel kind of positive about stuff that I'm doing and, the direction I'm heading in. I was a bit of a C, this week, but I think I feel more encouraged and inspired today than I have done, the past few days. It's been quite hard.
Well, like finding that sense of strength, obviously, because the news is not the most ideal, obviously, like with everything in many respects, what's happening. But obviously, you'll be able to return to that magnificent show which you've been in, which has been amazing. So many congratulations in that respect. Finding that strength. Obviously, now taking the time to really just breathe, think, look after yourself, and check in with yourself. Do you have an idea of kind of what trajectory you might take now during this time and inevitably for the rest of the year? Do you have a certain path set out, or just seeing how it's going to play out? Because every week is just so. It's another thing a week again, and a whole new thing every time.
Exactly. I mean, it's weird because I'm used to live theatre and doing everything live and being on stage, and that atmosphere of being in a theatre is like second to none. You don't get it like I've done filming on sets and stuff, and it's just completely different. It's different art. And so the main thing I think is, because I'm a people person, I've really struggled with not being around my friends, not seeing them every day, and as much as I love, technology, I much prefer like actually physically seeing people and hugging them and being like, oh my God, how are you? And we're such a family backstage. I think that's the biggest thing. So in this period going forward now, I think I have to think kind of like, what can I do? I did teaching before, I have taught, but I kind of don't want to go back to teaching. I still want to perform. So then you have to grow and evolve with the craft. I think especially for students coming out now, it's really scary because there is, at the moment, there is not really very much of an industry that they're going into. So definitely learning, like I bought a microphone. So I'm going to be doing some recording and some singing and putting some stuff out digitally, which is different for me. But I think that's what I'm going to focus on now. I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, nice. Having more of the business sense of it all. Yeah, fantastic. And you are an absolute credit to this industry, and I'm sure like many, we will get through this no matter the circumstance. It is quite dark at the moment, but people like you, thank you for being on this show and shedding light on things like with the great.
Thank you so much. I really feel for students or anybody who's new coming into the industry. It must be so, like, they must have a lot of anxiety, because even as somebody who has had a career, and I mean, I've had such an amazing career. Leaving drama school was crazy. Like, I went straight into Caroline or Change, and that was from my showcase at the National, which was just incredible. Like, I couldn't even believe, like, mind blown. It was just incredible. And even being somebody who's worked and is actually employed at this moment in the industry, I still had anxiety this week. I still felt kind of like, what is the future going to hold for us? Like, when are these shows going to come back? If the shows come back, what is it going to be like? I mean, we can't just flick a switch. Like, literally the West End went off in the space of 24 hours. However many shows there are have just gone off. And in terms of coming back, I don't think it's going to be so simple. Like, we're going to have rehearsals.
Yeah. Very long. Press nights again. Do you think there'll be just, even like with Mary Poppins and stuff, there'll probably be another press night just to
I
read?
think there has probably not a press night, but I think definitely like a reopening. And we've got Poppins, Hamilton, Jamie, you know, Les Mis. There's so many great Harry Potter, like Wicked. They're all going to have some sort of opening, right? And I was laying in bed the other day, and I was like, "Can I remember all the choreographies for Supercal?" And I tried to go through it, and I got stuck. And I was like, CALIF, RAGIL, ISTIC, SVILIDO, CIOUS. Okay, but what did I do for CIOUS? And I was like, I had to go to the Royal Variety Performance to recap and refresh and be like, oh right, CIO. I don't even know what I'm doing now. You know, like I'm gonna need a rehearsal. I'm gonna need a minute to get those steps back together, because it took me every bit of the 6 weeks of rehearsals to get it up to speed, because it's so fast, right? So even little things like that, I just think, oh my gosh, like we're definitely not going to be able to just go straight back. We're going to need a period of time, and you know, it's scary. It is scary, but I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to, you know, some of the best things in life come out from situations that are pressurized, and you know, some of the things that you don't even realize that you're capable of doing come out from times when you are under pressure, that fight or flight kind of situation. And I think a lot of performers are doing that. So I have a lot of friends, some from Matilda, some from Poppins, who have become entrepreneurs in the space of coronavirus, you know, just from the necessity of having to support yourself financially. So a lot of people have started businesses, they've started doing lessons, giving lessons online, or like making things, creating things, you know. So I think, as bad as this is, in a way, as artists, we have to be able to be self-sufficient. And if you're completely reliant on producers or on shows for your living, this has shown, you know, how unpredictable that can be in a way. Like it's very unpredictable. So you better have some. Like my mama told me before I started this, she's like, you should do a degree in something else, you know. You should do like law first or something else first, so that you have something to fall back on, you know, typical West Indian mum. She was like, you need to do something else. And I was like, no, I want to do this. This is my passion. This is my love. And then when things happen like this, you're kind of like, oh, okay, this is what she was talking about. Things like Corona, maybe, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm very wary of the time. I hope we really can find a moment to do a podcast as well, because I really enjoyed having conversations with you. I must be listening to you. But just quickly, just to like end it and summarize it, because you are beating hard, you know, people do look to you. They've enjoyed seeing you perform, and will continue to do so when we do it, as well as seeing, you know, the entrepreneur. Yes, darling. You know, what would you say in this circumstance if you were that graduate right now? What would you be doing to really help yourself?
Gosh, I would be, if I was that graduate right now, I would be taking some, like, continuing to learn. So I would definitely be signing up for some classes, just so that I don't get like rusty, you know, because we don't know when it's going to start back up. So if you graduate now and you're like, woo, I'm just chilling, I've got the summer, you know, no, you need to keep honing those skills. Take a little singing class, you know, sign up for a little ballet or dance or whatever it is, especially if you are like, your casting is dance, you need to keep on top of it, you know, make sure you keep your body conditioning and stuff like that up. It's really important, because when auditions come around, you need to be ready. Do a bit of self filming and stuff like that. Do some trials, get some scripts, you know, and just keep honing your skills. Don't feel like I've graduated now and I can just chill, because I wouldn't do that if I was a graduate. I'd say, you know, keep doing some stuff just to keep yourself ticking over until you get the opportunity to audition and get into a show.
Well, thank you so much, Melinda. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you soon, and let's get a podcast sorted.
Yes.
Thank you so much for talking at 10:30. In the evening. Please do look after yourself and stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bailey. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Right, everyone, that was Melinda Paris. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, guys, before we hit the absolutely amazing, gorgeous Kaylee Rose Allen from Divine Lines, we're going to quickly, momentarily take a break, because I know she does have a set piece sorted, but I really want to watch it, and I really need a wee, and I don't want to run off when she's performing, so we're going to quickly pause for 1-2 minutes. But up next, stay tuned, because here comes Divine Lines, Kaylee Rose Allen. See you in a bit. Oh my goodness, we are doing very, very well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly see of where we're at with the donations. Probably still on the same, but it doesn't matter, because what a show it's been. Yeah, still on £750. I think we'll be there till the end of the night, but thank you so much. Oh my God, I had a bit of a cry throughout the day. Let's quickly mute these notifications from the server. Thank you. And let's get ready for our next shining star, that being Kaylee Rose Allen. So, Divine Lines are back. Creative poetry, spoken word, mixed media collages. And yes, they are from Kaylee Rose Allen. She's really kept me going. I'm not going to lie, throughout this whole thing. I think she's been here since the very start, 9 a.m. Oh my goodness, I am tremendous. There you go, exactly. There we go, can't even speak. So tired, but what a show we've had. I'm going to keep ranting and raving about it, of how I've met directors from my dream TV box sets. You know, I'm a selfish and greedy git. You know, it was great for me. I hope it was great for you as well, who are still tuning in. That on the server, and also coming in out of this YouTube, and who will be watching this recording. But yes, Kaylee Rose Allen. I'm on my final ends, but she has helped me get through it. She's here now to perform and show us what she's got. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, drink the ink, take it to the Lounge, the book set Volume 2, present to you Kaylee Rose Allen. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I've got square eyes.
Oh God, well, I don't even know. I haven't worn my glasses. I've been naughty as well, so it's kind of gone into a haze as well as. There we go. Anyways, enough about me. You know, other than the square eyes, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. got an alcoholic beverage. I made myself a cheese board. So now I listen to Ramon. And now
I just grabbed some now.
no, you didn't. Look, this is my leftovers. Look at this. So in sync, my leftover grapes.
There we go. Fantastic. Anyways, enough of, is it okay if we just jump into it? Because even though everything's happening, time is of the essence.
Yeah. I'm gonna, before I do some of my stuff, is it okay if I read something by somebody else?
Oh, of course. Of course. That's
Cool.
absolutely fine. Okay. I'm gonna
Okay. So this is a piece I found on Pinterest by a poet named Erin Hansen. I can never say that without thinking of Dear Evan Hansen. And I wanted to read this poem because as a graduating, well, soon to be graduating drama school student, I think it's easy to sort of let drama school training be all consuming. Sort of just get up, go train, eat, sleep, do the same thing. And I love it. It's amazing. But I was having a talk with Raphael of the Thought through Industry Mind's amazing graduate scheme. And she was talking about, it sort of just resonated with me what she said. And she said that, like, I'm a human first and an actor second. And that just really resonated with me and just made me realize that, I'm not defined by my acting. I'm not defined by my craft. And I think it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we are defined by other things that we're not. And obviously racism is a huge issue at the moment and has been for a very long time. And unfortunately, like, people are still being defined by their skin color. And this poem isn't directly about race. That's something that I felt I needed to add to this. But yeah, this poem's about being defined by things that we're not or shouldn't be. So this is by Erin Hansen. You are not your age, nor the size of clothes you wear. You are not a weight or the colour of your hair. You are not a name or the dimples in your cheeks. You are all the books you read and all the words you speak. You are your croaky morning voice and the smiles you try to hide. You're the sweetness in your laughter and every tear you've cried. You're the songs you sing so loudly when you know you're all alone. You're the places that you've been to and the one that you call home. You're the things that you people believe in and the people that you love. You're the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You're made of so much beauty, but it seems that you forget when you decided that you were defined by all the things you're not. And that was that. So now, should I go into my own, Bailey? You there? Yes, okay, I'll carry on. Cool. So, you choose. Amazing. So I was trying to think of poems that I haven't yet read because I'm running out. Take It to the Lounge and Forgotten Words. So I'm going to read, let me just find it. I'm going to read one, first of all, called Sparkles to Ashes. Let me just get it up. Okay, so this is Sparkles to Ashes. What once gleamed bright under the light of your embrace has now shifted, drifting along the ebb and flow of your comforting shore no more. What once glistened like a diamond caught in the sun sits dull and empty, full of love and joy no more. Shadows, which were once intertwined, locked together and melded, have now vanished into a broken dismay of disequilibrium. Our dreams, which were so close, have been whisked far beyond the realms of possibility, to a land where what's possible, only those who are there know its true capabilities. The light turns to black. The hope turns to fear. Enveloped into the unknown because you are no longer here. There are two lost souls, The first, which radiates its wonder and wisdom through the skies. And I, the second who sits down below. I am the dust which dissipates from your ashes. That was that one. And I'll do one more. And this is more a spoken word piece, actually. Doesn't really have a name, but I've called it Doors because that's the first word. Doors are always opening and closing, it's true. But no one ever tells you what's behind them, or where to find them, or how to get inside them. That's all guesswork. The stress of finding their address is left to you. Left to you to wander through the woods to look for the goods that might not even be there. No one gives you clues, you're just left to peruse and use your own initiative to find the peace of mind you've been searching for. What's there to lose? So off I wander, down my own roads to try and find my own doors and give myself what I'm owed. Let's hope that I do find a door. And when I get there, it's not locked. And thank you, that's all I've got for you today.
Oh, thanks for that, Kate.
Finish with your cheese.
Yeah, I enjoyed the cheese, and I really, really loved the performance. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, thank you for performing at this time as well.
It's all right. Second burst of energy.
Yeah, I'll catch you soon. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I love you.
Bye. Bye. Oh my goodness, Katie Rose Allen, everybody. You can find her at Katie Rose Allen or at Divine Lines, where you can see her do movement pieces to her art collages and her spoken word. Right, ladies and gentlemen, closing the show, we have the fantastic, and it's taken a wee while to get to this stage with our next guest. I'm so happy that we're able to talk to her this late evening. We started quite early on with Keddy Scott's this morning, and now we've got someone who's part of the clientele. It is the wonderful, the sensational Danielle Lockwood, everyone. Hello and good evening.
Hello, it's nice to finally see you.
Yeah, likewise. How's everything down your end at the moment?
Not too bad, not too bad. I just want to say as well, thank you so much for inviting me on today. It's so nice to, I don't know, connect back to the industry in some way. It's so easy to kind of feel a little bit disconnected sometimes. So it's nice to do little bits like this where you're like back and involved. So yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you, because we finally be able to get it, and it's great that we finally.
I know. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
Coming, and it's going to be amazing. I know that we don't have as much time as we usually would have had planned, but I'm sure after this we'd be able to find a moment. You know, we've got time on our hand to get a podcast.
Oh, absolutely, exactly.
You've been keeping very, very busy. I've absolutely loved seeing all on the socials as well at the moment. Is the roller skating with it with the dance? Like, what? How's that experience been? Because you've been doing that. Has that been like a new experience that you felt, or like how long have you been doing that?
Well, so I came back from Starlight Express, which is obviously like where I picked up the skating. Believe me, I could not skate before. So yeah, obviously I picked it up from there, and then I came back, and I got kind of employed, I guess, by a company called Playtone, and yeah, I instruct skating. So I do beginners to slightly more advanced and different types of classes. So like you said, it's keeping me busy, it's keeping me sane. So I'm more than happy to be doing it.
Yeah, amazing. And also as well, you're doing you're like you do these princess parties as well. Have you been doing that as well, or is that kind of like stopped at the moment because of the?
Yeah. So that's my business. Again, it's just something to tie me over, keep me busy. So I started it, God, when I was back at London Studio Centre years ago, and I stopped it for a couple of years, and I thought, do you know what, I'll relaunch it just before coronavirus hit. And then obviously, well, you know the rest. So I've started doing kind of online packages, and it's going quite well. People are like, little kids are getting messages, and it's brightening up their days. So at least I feel like I'm doing something nice, as well as obviously keeping the business going. So yeah, that's exciting. You must be knackered, by the way.
I am. I'm sorry if I look dead. In my
No, don't be silly. No, not at all. I just thought, my goodness, how long have you been doing it now? Nearly 14 hours.
14 hours. We got 17 minutes until it would have been 14 hours.
Wow, what a trooper!
But I'm proper thrilled because I'll quickly refresh this now, actually, because I've got the Just Giving page just here. Yeah, I think by the time we finish it, I think solidly £750 for the dash charity. Great. I didn't even really expect anything really, but everyone's been so generous.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, picking up on the London Studio Centre. If you were that graduate right now, where would your mind be at, and what would you be thinking to really find a way of, really having a social media presence, having a presence somewhere within this industry?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's hard graduating anyway and going into what we would say like the real world and like tackling it as it is, let alone with everything going on at the moment. There's just so much uncertainty, but you've just got to stay proactive. Like, I've started doing myself like a little itinerary every day, so at least I've got like checklists, so I feel like I'm achieving something, because it is so hard just to, I don't know, kind of feel a little bit down, and you've got to be the one to pick yourself up, and you've just got to persevere and just really try, like I said a bit earlier, like just to connect in any way you can to the industry. Take an online class. I know it's not the same as being in a studio, but you've got to make like the best out of a bad situation. And yeah, it's those ones that are gonna just keep on going and keep on fighting that are gonna come out the other end yeah, in a better way, really, I would say.
And thinking about the training that you did have, and when you graduated, not so long ago, actually.
No, not that long ago, to be fair.
Yeah, from what you have learned now, getting the rep behind you, getting the experience, what would you say to your graduate self? What would you say to yourself when you were in training or auditioning for schools?
The thing I actually regret the most while I was in training is not, it might sound vain, but it's not at all, but filming myself doing things, because obviously when you film yourself, you can self-correct, you can obviously use it if needed for like a reel, or yeah, it's just so handy to have, and just as progression, like you can look back on it and see how far you've come. And that's something I really regret doing. I don't have a single video of me doing anything hardly at all during college, and I really do regret that. So I think if you can, and like again with the social media presence, put it on your social media, and just, yeah, like it's for you more than anything else. And yeah, it's just something to stay active, and yeah, like I said, it's just one of them things that I look back on and I think I kind of wish I had done that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what else.
Yeah, but like seeing how far you have come and what you have achieved with, like obviously you're making success in so many different ways at the moment. But when we do come out of this, and whenever we find whatever normality is, keep going on about right now throughout the day. But do you have your eye on certain career paths that you want to carve your way into a certain area of the industry, or is it still just keeping it open and seeing what really happens?
Well, I mean, obviously it's hard to have your eye like very narrow-mindedly on one single prize. You kind of do have to be open-minded and go with the flow to a certain extent. So there's a lot of me that thinks you've just got to roll with the punches, see what happens. But I mean, I've been away in Germany for a little while doing Starlight, so I'm very much just want to be in the UK. Hopefully a lovely little tour will come up or a lovely little town show, but it's way harder than just saying it. So obviously hard work and perseverance, and Yeah, I mean, obviously we all have our dream shows, but my goal in, I guess, this world is to do 10 shows. So that's my thing. It's not necessarily that like I want to do a specific show. I want to do 10 shows. So I know that's very optimistic, but yeah, set your goals high and see what happens.
Amazing. Well, I'm sure that will come in to play most definitely when the theatres do come in
hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. Who knows? But just quickly, as a final few words, as it were, to really start to close this show, which has been absolutely fantastic. And thank you to everyone and yes, coming in and out on this, still listening on here. Can't believe how many people are listening on there on the server at the moment. So yeah, just getting some passion in a way, or something, or someone just have a smile on a Sunday. What would you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, just, well, for starters, thank you for putting this whole thing together. I'm sure that everyone listening, everyone who's taken part, like thoroughly appreciates like how much effort that you have put into this. So you've done an amazing job. And just like do something for yourself every day. It might sound like a selfish approach, but you have to be happy and like you've got to like love yourself and all of that. So just do something that makes you happy every day, even if it's just like one teeny tiny thing, like go and take a bath or go and like read a nice book, or like just do something for you, because yeah, you've got to look out for yourself.
Amazing. Well, Danielle, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll see and hear of you more soon. Until then, take care and good night.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. That was the lovely Danielle Lockwood, everyone. Right, we have 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes remaining. Unfortunately, our next guest is unavailable because lockdown has, well, it's taken its toll on everyone, hasn't it? And giving people breaks. And this is kind of a relaxed atmosphere. So do you know what I'm going to do? I think I might actually perform a poem. I haven't got one prepared. So I'm going to find something just quickly. I'm going to sift through it. It's going to take a bit of time. Let's just quickly refresh and see how we do. Still on £750. I think that's how it's going to be. But if you're still here and you fancy donating and supporting the Dash charity, helping those who have faced domestic abuse, the link is there. And you'd be helping people have more of a future with their lives. But do not worry if not. It's been an absolute pleasure just you guys tuning in and being here. I'll probably have a little moment later, but not right now. I'm going to try and find a poem or something. I can't believe I sang earlier as well, which was a bit weird. But there we go, all for charity. What is a poem? I don't even know if I've got one on my emails, but let's send stuff to myself on emails. Let's see. Okay, all right. This is all highlighted, so it looks a bit weird. It really does look weird, so I don't know if I'll be able to read it properly, but let's give it a go. And it should take us, and I'm going to get Kaylee to do another one, hopefully. So Kaylee, I know you're still there in backstage, so if you want to perform another poem, please do. Save me. Have a look. Yeah, have a look. You'll put me to shame, it's fine. But this is called Three Corners. I don't even know what it's called. I'm losing my mind. But anyways, oh, pardon me. All the cheese and crackers. In life, you can't just exist. You can't be the boat that'll hit and miss. Confidence, aspiration, mind and work simply come together when we are put first. Life is never ending. It is but a mere dream. If we come together, then we can feed on thoughts, the thoughts we once knew. Coming together and practicing skill set is only what the few do to sustain in life. If you want progression, you must take flight, soaring into the sky, never asking questions and never knowing why. Be that little boy. Be that little child. Be that little girl who didn't have pressures for a while. A while. A while indeed. Open yourself up to your endless possibilities. The world is your oyster. That is something you know. But did anyone ever tell you of where to go? Navigations, satellites, pick-me-ups and streams got me thinking that we as people try to fight our own means, relying on the subject of luck. Oh my God, I forgot my place. My brain is not working. Relying on the subject of luck. Luck has three corners, and if you don't move, you'll end up stuck. Luck is a period of two. Make three wishes, and then you can't prove the chances you have. If you keep relying on the genie, you'll never get that lamp. Reality, everything is true. If you want to meet them three corners, begin with what's new. Now, here and again, people will start blessing if you act when you were 10, dreaming away. Having no pressures and letting thoughts restart again and again and again. Reboot that system you never knew. If you only stuck to three corners, you'd be that Montague, battling those partners, battling self, thinking of what's wrong and right, never looking at health, living, breathing and true. If you want success, start with you. I could really tell that my brain was starting to switch off there, but that was three corners. Let's get Kaylee in here now and see if she can do one more poem and also put me to shame. Please put me to shame. Anyways, she's back again. Kaylee Roseanne and Divine
Hiya. Hey,
get enough of you.
amazing. You've had a 14-hour day. And you're performing at the end of it, so that's amazing.
Anyways, just to close the show, what are you going to be doing?
So I'll read another one of my poems / spoken words. That's hopefully it'll be a nice note to end on. So this is called There's Been Times. There's been times when I felt grateful for the time I claim to never have, for all the friends and family who have brought me joy and lots of laughs. There's been times when I felt uncertain, confusion and concern, yearning for some answers I know I won't get until life returns to some sort of normality, if that's what we can call it. But a new normality we will have to adjust to and get through bit by bit. There's been times when I've lodged in my own brain for too long, drinking and sinking into the trap of overthinking. There's been times when I feel like I'm being submerged underwater, like I'm being pushed down and held under, screaming to be set free, but nobody can hear me. But there will be a day when I can step outside and be free. I'll be able to step away from my virtual life on the screen, free to do as I please. Give a hug to my loved ones and friends and feel cleansed by the air I breathe in. Human contact has never been more precious. From here on in, instead of allowing myself to get sucked into the black holes of my brain, I'll search for the glitter in life. I'll be less bitter. Know that things could always be shitter, yet allow myself to feel my feelings without littering them so they're surrounding me and making me feel overwhelmed. I'll be more grateful, less hateful, less wasteful of my time, and just strive for the things I know I'm capable of without being defined by others, but by just knowing that I'm enough. You're enough. We're enough. Together, we are stronger. We're more powerful. And by supporting each other, we can shower positivity, love, kindness, and compassion all over the world. The way we're living right now has been changed, but let's keep the connections we've made. Let's spread the joy and keep the faith. And pray for everyone here that we'll continue to stay safe. And there we go.
Thank you for that, Kaylee. Thank you so much.
It's okay. Thank you. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you. I'll catch you in a bit, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes to go. And let's quickly share this screen because bloody hell. Look at this. £750 £750 today. Within the first hour, couple of hours, we made over £250. In a segment, we got another 300, and the rest has just come in between. And thank you so much for everyone that has donated. Those that have tuned in, those that have been there, those that have come on the show. It just goes to show you can be anyone. I'm a working class lad. I'm a boy from Slough. And you can bloody do this. And I'm so glad I've done it for this charity. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been extraordinary. I'm going to wait until it hits the mark. But this has been Drink the Ink, Tk2 Lounge, Volume 2, the box set. I'm Bailey Harris Kelly. What an amazing show it's been. 14 hours. You've seen your best box sets. You've seen the Peaky Blinders. You've seen the Mr. Selfridge. You've seen the Sherlock. You've seen the Line of Duty. You've seen the USA. You've seen the Graduates. You've seen the Stars. You've seen the poems. You've seen the songs. You've seen the dances. You've seen absolutely everything. And we've raised £750, all for the Dash charity to support victims of domestic abuse, to allow them to move on in their future. Men, children, women, families. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an utmost pleasure. I cannot wait to do another one of these. Throughout this, as my mind works, I'm a bit crazy and I'm a bit greedy anyway. We're definitely going to do another one. Not right now, as I've got schoolwork to actually do and my acting business to look to. But I'm Bailey Harris Kelly. This has been Drink the Ink. Thank you so much to those still tuning on here and on here. I don't know why I pointed at the server because people are just listening here. It's been a true delight, and I can't wait to do it yet again. Good night. I love you lots, and oh my goodness, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing, and I'm going to shut up because you heard me for over 14 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.